I love that countdown, man, because it gives me the ability to make sure that I've like muted YouTube and whatnot.
Yeah, and
yeah, that's always helpful.
It was off my rotund belly, so that was
awesome. Well, you knew we were counting down, man. It looks like you froze too. There we go. Cool. All right. So, how is everybody doing tonight? How are you doing, Script Doctor?
I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, getting ahead on my video work here, and got the respite to hang out with you guys tonight and talk some crazy world.
Is that me going robotic, or is that you?
I think it was Script.
That might be me.
Okay.
Hold on, let me check something here.
Okay. No, it's like you were. It sounded like you're having latency issues. Yeah, the joys of the internet. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's not. Hey, Roger the Shrubber. Just want to let you know that I got you in the credits now of the videos. I wasn't sure if you saw that with my recent one, so I finally got that shit updated this week, which makes me happy because I've been slacking on that shit. So, anyway, how are you, Culture Casino?
I'm great. And the reason that we're late, I'm going to tell the chat, I'm going to own it. My ISP went into I hate you mode, and I went from my normal 150 megabits a second to 7. And that doesn't work.
No. So. You got to love how technology fails to improve our lives.
Yeah, it was very bad. It was 20 minutes of me yelling at a modem and router.
Oh, yeah. I love when that happens. I thought I saw like a shadow run across my the back of my wall. So it's like, is there a cat in here I'm not aware of yet? It's like, I know the dog is in here. So, yeah. My favorite is when I used to buy the Cisco small business router, and I bought 3 of them because they kept dying, and I was like, fuck this. So I ended up going with a Unify router, which was a nice little expensive router. It's not little, it's pretty big. It's rack mount. So I have rack mounted gear in my house, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna replace it. I'm gonna get the rack mount unit, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's only like a single right?
Yeah, it's 1U. Yeah. But the rack I have it's a 4U networking rack. So all my networking gear upstairs goes in there. I have the entire upstairs cabled and the garage cabled as well.
That's what I did. I pulled the whole house, and then Wi-Fi got amazing, and it's like, okay, this is dumb. I don't need wired.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't do is downstairs. I had the wireless mesh covering all that, but yeah, it's good. So how is everybody in the chat doing tonight? We have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Are you back, Script?
I am back. How do I sound now?
You sound fantastic.
Awesome.
So we'll let you redo your intro since things were kind of having problems.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm doing great. Looking forward to some conversation tonight. If I do go a little robotic, similar internet issues to the culture and you guys, but also my girlfriend's at the other end of my apartment on a Skype meeting for work. So that's probably also why.
Sucking all the bandwidth.
Probably. Who knows?
Skype eats it, man. Especially video Skype. Yikes.
Yeah. I love this. This is funny. Nano Reaper is saying, help me network my boathouse. It's like, I don't know how to do that. I mean, I could tell you how to run cables and whatnot, but as far as actually getting internet, that's
a satellite dish.
Satellite, yeah.
Yeah, point it in a southwesterly position, and you can hook up to any of these satellites above Earth that broadcast internet because they're all in that southwest position.
Yep.
Yep. And very soon, Elon Musk will be bringing us broadband internet from space through Starlink. So that's on the way.
That would be awesome. Yeah. So real quick, I have to get the obligatory Culture Casino $1.49 super sticker, which is the very phallic unicorn. And waiting for it to come in. And we also have another super sticker from that crazy cat guy for $5. Hiya! How you doing? So we have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. A lot of crazy shit to talk about. The one thing I thought was really funny when I saw this, it made me want to tweet the NBA saying the NBA doesn't care about Black lives; they only care about profit. Because apparently the NBA is going to be backing off of the BLM messaging, which I actually wish I could say I was shocked, but I'm not shocked.
So they're popping their own bubble now?
I guess. Yes, NBA will stop pushing BLM messaging on the court after ratings plummet. Surprise, surprise, right? Big surprise.
Well, it'll be after the election. So.
Yeah. Fair enough. The NBA, amidst suffering from record lows in their ratings, has agreed to leave the recent social justice message off the floor, starting with the next season. Okay, well, it's not going to be immediate. It's with the next season.
I guess they paid for all the licensing of BLM stuff, so they have to wait for the contract to run out.
I guess.
Interesting that a movement has a licensing option.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I have no idea if that's actually the case, but
yeah, just through speculation, right?
No, they're an incorporated business. It's not. They're not. I mean, they ceased being a movement almost right away.
What? A Marxist organization is an incorporated business?
It is.
That's not very Marxist of them.
That's not very Mao of them.
Hey, if somebody writes you over time, several organizations write you $500 million worth of money, you're going to take it. And then you're going to read it to the people who, you're really wanting to support. And that's all I'm going to say.
I think BLM needs to stop that right now. Not
right
meow, Mao. Right now. Fucked up my own joke.
Super Troopers, that got in my head too.
I love that movie.
A little bit crossing into that horrible time period of China, communist China back in the day.
It was pretty funny. Some friends of mine are the ones that turned me on to that movie because I saw it. I was like, God, this movie looks stupid. It looks really fucking stupid. And my friend's like, no, man, you got to check this out. This movie it's hilarious. I'm like, okay, fine. I go and I watch it. Like, God damn, this movie's funny. What was I thinking?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the plot makes no sense at all, but it has got great jokes and great things that you wish you could do as a highway patrol cop.
Yeah. Well, it's a very simple plot. It's got a plot, but it's pretty simple. The jokes are really well done. I still need to watch the second movie.
The second one's not bad, and they're planning to do a third one because the second one was successful for what they did. So we'll see what happens after the pandemic. And
yeah,
they also have a TV show that's really good called Tacoma FD. It's about fire department guys.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that they were doing that. I was wondering what I kind of felt like after Slam and Salmon, I thought things kind of fell apart for them.
Well, no, they were just. I mean, their movies were not tracking as well.
Mm-hmm.
But they pitched this series a couple of years ago, and then it's on, I think, True TV. It just finished its second season, and it's pretty decent. It incorporates a lot of the jokes that they use, and it's got the guy who plays Farva, Kevin Heffernan, as the main character, and then Steve Lemmy, who is the dude with the mustache and who wears the bulletproof jockstrap. He's in there as well. It's got some other new characters, and yeah, it's pretty. It's endearing and funny.
Yeah, this is funny. So it's like, fucking mouse, get over here. All right, there we go. Soul Assassin is saying now Comics Vision knows why his friends always ask him for a liter of cola. A liter of cola. It's for a cop.
Are you gonna spit in it now?
God. Movie's fucking great. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, had during the past months insisted in promoting pro-Black Lives Matter to support the league's overwhelmingly African-American players. According to NBC Sports, Adam Silver told them, "Hey guys, this is what we're going to do to support our players." Okay.
Okay, all right.
How are you supporting them? I mean, you're writing them a check, like every game.
Maybe putting up a banner, like.
Aren't you supporting them by giving them lots of money? I mean, come on.
I'm pretty sure those basketball players are pretty well paid.
Yeah, this is important. This is a partnership. We need to work together to get through the session into the next year. Yeah. Sure, buddy. And meanwhile, you've discovered the fact that people don't care about your politics. And I'm going to share this real quick from Culture Casino. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, they're doing the whole mustache thing again, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought you'd think that was funny. That's Tacoma FD. That's the show. It's True TV. Yep.
Yep. That guy there next to the Polynesian guy, he does the voice of Rutherford on Star Trek Lower Decks.
Oh.
Yeah. Favre?
No, Rutherford. The dude with the bionic eye. The dude between Farva and Mac.
This guy?
Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
Oh, wow.
Polynesian guy. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see race. I'm sorry. I apologize for that script.
Oh, that's okay.
I had no idea it was Polynesian.
Yeah.
So
Polynesian or Hawaiian. I mean, they're in that area, but I think he was Polynesian. I may be wrong, but
no idea. Real quick before I forget about it. So let's get to according to Christy with her 99-cent poop emoji. And then we have another one from David Blair for $5. Hail everyone. Hail to you, sir. Thank you for the $5. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, everybody who for some reason decides to donate to this channel. I have no idea why you guys do it, but thank you. I appreciate it.
It's always great to get a pooper sticker from Christy, but maybe she has to update her catchphrase from kiss my grits to kiss my shits.
But in all seriousness, folks, I do appreciate the support. It does mean a lot to me. I have to be glib about stuff like that because I don't know. It's a bit humbling, I guess. The messages agreed upon by the National Basketball Players Association and the NBA are Black Lives Matter. Okay, no shit, Sherlock. Anyway, say their name. So stupid. Vote. I can't breathe. Justice, peace, equality, freedom. Enough. Power to the people. God, what are we in the 60s again?
Yeah, no.
These are all like movements and corporations.
Yeah. Let's see. Justice Now. Say her name. God, I don't get the whole say her name thing, but that's to me, okay. When you walk up to somebody and you're like, say her name and doing the fist thing, I mean, that to me is like that's some serious brown shirt level bullshit. Yeah. Yes, we can in Spanish. Liberation. See us, hear us, respect us, love us, listen to us, stand up. Ally, anti-racist. I'm a man. Speak up. How many more? Group economics, education reform, mentor. Anyway. Okay.
These all sound like really terrible band names.
Yeah, they do, right? Enough is
like,
enough.
Hey man, did you listen to ERM? What's that? Education reform and mentor.
No, man, I'm listening to Enough is Enough. Anyway.
Oh yeah, they used to be Salt and Pepper back in the day.
Hey, I'm straight up going for super freakonomics. I mean, group economics.
Said ESPN, referring to the message approved by the league to show support for social justice issues on the court. How about fuck Whitey? Can you get that one approved? Can you get that on the courts? Yeah, because I'm sure that will go real fucking well.
Well, kind of all of these are fuck Whitey, but you know,
really polite ways of saying fuck Whitey. 300 of the league's 350 players choose to do so, generally by wearing Black Lives Matters t-shirts during seasons that has now become famous for the worst ratings ever. Viewerships have been down 68% on average for the NBA Finals this year between the LA Lakers and the Miami Heat. Yeah, it's like I remember the shit was going on when my hometown sports ball team announced they're going to do it. I was just like, okay, well, fuck this noise. Not that I'm a big fan of basketball to begin with. I'm proud of my city when my team makes it to the championships, but yeah, fuck that noise. Silver has now reversed his position, saying that he is committing to league play going back to normal next year. Oh, really now? So much for your convictions.
Yeah, actually, so essentially, he's gone from doggy style back to missionary. That's his point.
That's funny. Well, here's the thing. I knew that this was not going to last very long. You know, I'm waiting. I was waiting for people and companies to start drifting away from it because they know it's not profitable and people aren't going to support them.
Yeah, because it's clearly anti-American. I mean, it's going back, 100 years in time and saying that, an entire country is racist when we are at the point at which we are the least racist we've ever been. And compared to the rest of the world, we are none-racist. So, I mean, we're the least homogenized society on the planet.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, there's definitely other countries that are very much ethno-states, specifically in Asia, and again,
Europe.
Yeah. Well, to a degree, Europe. Europe is, I think, they've been, swinging their doors open for quite some time, and
they're learning valuable lessons right now.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say I take issue with the viewership percentage because that's inaccurate. I mean, let me put it this way: it's misleading even in its number. Because while it says 68%, and I've heard 70%, in fact, there were games that were definitely down over 70%. Nielsen changed the way they run their rating systems for all live sporting events in August 2020. Yeah. So these numbers, if they weren't taking into account the out-of-home viewership, which they are now doing for live sports, which they had never done in the past, you're looking at, the numbers would have been much different. So even lower, my expectation would be.
So it'd be like down more like 80 to 90%.
Yeah, that would be my guess. And
what do you think is going to happen for the NFL next year, or this season, I should say?
The NFL's already been suffering 12 to 15% consistent declines. Those numbers are going to continue to go down. They're going to have a fall off like they did, during the anthem crap that happened under
Kaepernick.
Yes, thank you. Gosh, I hate that kid. Anyway, so it's just, I mean, I thought he was a great player, and then he turned into some fake weirdo. I mean, he's raised by a white family. I mean,
what everyone was saying is that he started dating this chick who is big into social justice, and that's what.
Oh yeah,
got it. And now, obviously, he knows that he can make money off of it.
Well, that's how he was never going to make that kind of money as a football player.
Yeah,
I mean, he was a has-been after his third season or fourth season.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, his numbers now on the Madden game are so much higher than they were when they originally put a number on him in the games when he was actually still a football player. So.
I gotta highlight this comment real quick from Mad Markin. They are interested in having actual. They're not interested in actually solving racism. It's having the influence to change the meta narrative to normalize their beliefs. It wouldn't be possible if they didn't have the racism claim. Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and his whole thing was like, well, cops shouldn't shoot black people. It's like, you really have no idea what's going on, buddy. You really don't. But it's like,
he's right. They shouldn't, but they're not doing it in overwhelming numbers the way they have reports.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? It's like, the cops shouldn't shoot people. But there's gonna be times where obviously they have to, which is the unfortunate thing.
9 to 13 people of that particular ethnic background are shot every year.
I know that's what it was. The numbers were for last year.
Yeah,
out of millions of interactions. Out of millions of interactions, only 13.
Yeah, well, think about how many white people are shot and killed by police.
I don't even know the number.
Yeah, nobody knows. You know why?
Because nobody cares.
We don't look at it that way.
That's
it's
true
just,
too.
It's just. I grew up in a country where I didn't look at any of this stuff. The time of my life was perfect. In 64 and onward, things got much better. And by the time I was born, and then the time I actually became self-aware, because as a child, you don't know jack diddly.
Yeah, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
So by the time I was interacting with my friends looked like America. You know what I mean? There was no. I mean, there was a rainbow of my friends.
Right.
So,
Yeah, exactly. That's like I mean, me and you were of the same age demographic. When we grew up, we just had friends, right? And our friends were vastly different.
yeah.
And that's fine. It's not a big deal. We didn't care. And suddenly, starting back in 2012, everyone started
I only ever
this shit.
I only ever made fun of Canadians and French people. So there you go.
Yeah, and there's plenty of reasons to make fun of French people. Canadians were just polite and unarmed.
And that's what it was. We were always making fun of just how polite all the Canadians. And I don't know if that's making fun. I think that's just pointing out a wonderful character.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Scrolling down here. That's basically it. So that's this article. Yay, we completed an article. It wasn't very long.
That never happens.
No, it doesn't. It never fucking happens. That's the thing that's so funny about it.
We derail it every time. But it's interesting. So one of the events that, and I don't know if this was on the docket for tonight or anything, but it's definitely on my docket for the Friday pre-flight show that I do in the midday tomorrow. But I try to actually predict what you guys are going to talk about on Friday Night Tight. So one of the things I think you guys are going to talk about, I'm serious. That's part of what that show is me trying to guess where you guys are going to be. And
I know what we're talking about it because we get it like a couple days before.
Do you? Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. Well, you'll know, and I will know if I guess right by your face. But and maybe not, because this is fairly recent. But about 2 days ago, something was confirmed that I knew was going to happen because I'd already heard about it through my Disney channels. But they're laying off a bunch of ESPN folks. 200.
Really?
Yeah, at least. Yeah, well, at least 200. Let's just say those numbers. Now, most of them are off camera, behind the camera kind of people, but there are some talents that they're going to lose. This will be the third time in 5 years that they have laid people off at ESPN, the worldwide leader. Well,
that's crazy. Yeah, I'm so happy I did an interview with Disney.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say, yeah, I believe me. Some of my friends, three of the four people that I knew just in Imagineering, two of them are gone because of well,
not only that, it's like, because, I work in tech. I've been hit up by Facebook. I've been hit up by Amazon. I've been hit up by Disney. Yeah, because of the line of work I do. And part of the reason why I turned a lot of those down was because of where they wanted me to move to. Like Facebook, they wanted you to move to California. It was Seattle for Disney because it was for ESPN, and they're based out of Seattle.
Well, that's one of their locations. The other one's in Bristol, Connecticut. So you either, yeah. So yeah. I'm just saying because those folks are going, but there's more coming at Disney. I mean, we haven't even hit not only that, about 7-8 hours ago now, the story broke, which I knew was coming too. In fact, a lot of what I do is I talk about the business aspect of things and the stuff that's going on behind the scenes on my channel, as you know. But Warner Media is cutting loose thousands of people.
Oh yeah, they've already, I think 28,000 or almost 30.
No, that was Disney. No. It'll be Warner Media.
Yeah, Warner Media, AT&T. They already scheduled for. I heard rumors it was over 25,000 that they scheduled to lay off in their reorganization of the company.
Okay.
Well, makes me if there's going to be more layoffs at DC then.
Oh, dude, DC Comics is like pretty toast. They're going to keep the film side is going to be okay, but the comics are pretty toast. That's
kind of what we figured.
Yeah, I mean, Clownfish, did the stuff that they know, which is the animation side of things with Crunchyroll and Rooster Teeth and all of that. I'm sure Script has heard other stuff that's coming down the pipe. They're not. Well, I heard
that AT&T had, like, some people at AT&T have a 3-year plan to sort of save their DC publishing, but I don't know if AT&T has approved of it yet.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, but they're going to lose a bunch of comic people again, which we already knew. They're cutting off the pieces that are just either redundant or useless. And,
I seriously think that their 3-year plan is to get another company like IDW to do it for them.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't surprise me, or get Pete over, Peddlin' Pete at Alterna to like pick up some of the slack.
Oh yeah.
Well, the plan that I heard was basically a ground up restructuring of the company, streamlining it, getting it down to only a handful of books and a handful of writers, and then just kind of rebuilding it as it was originally.
Mhm.
And they said it's going to take them 3 years to just get the ball rolling and 5 years of lost profits. But the plan is set that if it works, they'll be able to build up again. And then they know from experience from the last 80 years where the peak is for how they should be publishing, because they got the sales numbers, they got the balancing of issues, and they're not oversaturating their market.
Right.
So Soul Assassin is asking, wondering if Disney's going to try and buy DC. No,
Nope.
They don't have the money right now. They are already fucked because of the Fox deal.
They lost another $5 billion, I heard, this quarter.
I would be surprised.
And it's going to be bigger this quarter. So the fourth quarter call is going to make everybody cry. So,
well, this is where they have to. I mean, at some point in time, they can only cook the books for so long. They have to admit that they lost money, and fourth quarter is probably going to be it. So
they've been admitting it for this will be the third quarter in a row. This will be the third quarter in a row.
Yeah.
So and we'll have there's no dividends. This will be the second time there's no dividends.
Oh wow. Imperial Lupia for $5. So it sounds like nukes are in the air and can't be recalled at this point for entertainment across the board. Yeah.
Well,
I
not
think
entirely across the board. So here's something that's kind of been going on strangely for the last few months. Paramount has been buying up as many what's called spec scripts, so like non-IP properties, as they can to put into production for their Paramount Plus and for theatrical release. They're the only big studio buying spec scripts right now. And that means that they're the only ones that have an action plan for production and are probably going to fare out pretty well once this is all done, because they'll be ahead of the game. From what I've heard from some of my union friends over there, their policies to handle with the pandemic are better than all the other studios. And they're currently, I mean, even though their ink is still kind of wet with their remerger, and they still have stuff to do with their IP, they're trying to generate new franchises as quickly and as effectively as they can. So they might be the ones that end up coming out on top of this in a couple of years. They might be Paramount, what they were like 15, 20 years ago, before they did the dumbest thing ever, which is sell Marvel.
Yeah, well, they're going to be second only to Netflix in original productions, from what.
Pretty much.
So, but see, here's the weird thing about so they brought in Jason Killar, the job killer.
Killer. Jason Killer.
Yeah, they brought him into this thing that the script's talking about, to just hack away. Now, we've been through two phases at Warner, and I knew this other one was coming. I've been telling everybody that. But this is huge. This is going to be monstrous, and jobs at CNN are going to get whacked too. So it's just I wonder why
CNN's going to be hit right now. It's not like they're fucking shit news at the moment.
Well, it'd be nice if they fired their on-screen talent.
They're losing some on-screen folks, not the big names, but anyway. So this is stuff that's right. It's just about to happen. It's like, here it comes, and it's all due to this stupid business practice and the fact that we politicized an epidemic, whatever word you want to use, right? So had this not been politicized, had this not been something that we had to, close everything down for the way that we did, it might have been different, and it's not helping. I mean, if you look at California, under the control of, Comrade Newsom, they're having serious problems, and it's literally killing off one of the largest entertainment industries we've ever had.
Yeah. All right. For $5 from Macadine90, Rooster Teeth is really falling apart. And did Disney fire their part-time employees?
67% of them.
Damn. Yep. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, let me put it this way: theme parks employees out of Disneyland and some of the folks obviously that leaves 33% full timers, but they converted some full timers to part time right before they furloughed people, so they can save money, which is kind of a, it from a business side made sense, from a human side kind of a dick move in my opinion.
Yeah.
But But honestly, I mean, yeah, they did, and it's and those folks are in trouble because most of them are theme park employees in the California area. Not only that, think about this: the tax base for that part of Orange County, or just Orange County in general, Disney contributes $300 billion in tax base through the tourism industry through Disneyland, essentially. So the restaurants, the hotels, car rentals, and all of that. Everything.
Yep. All right. Drake is 6. Comics division for people who think the police should never shoot people need to watch the YouTube channel Police Activity. It's raw body cam footage. You'll be shocked more people aren't shot. Yeah, and like I said, my friend's not exactly connected to the shit that goes on the culture war. And, I told him, it's like, it stopped being about George Floyd months ago. He's like, what's it about? Shit and giggles? It's like, it's really complicated. It's like, it's one of those things that, just over chat, I can't explain it to you. It's like, it's a lot. It's complicated. I told him ultimately it's about pushing an agenda and a narrative. And that's basically what it is at this point. So, all right. So we got a lot of other stuff to talk about. What do we want to talk about? Do we want to talk about D&D first, or do we want to go straight for like the fucking cringe?
The cringe can go for a while. So I mean, D&D.
Might as well address the D&D. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. If you want to make it through a couple of articles.
Yeah. So as you guys know, I talk about stuff that's been going on with gaming, specifically around D&D and the whole thing with the orcs are racist nonsense that's been going on this year. And the thing that I find amazingly stupid is that this Twitter outrage is actually making them change the rules to the game. So here we go again. Dungeons & Dragons officially removes negative racial ability score modifiers from the rules.
Wait, so are orcs now more powerful?
Yeah, so orcs no longer have a -2 intelligence. Halflings no longer have a -2 constitution or strength. I don't remember what it is. It's been a while. Elves no longer get a -2 constitution. Stuff like that. So it's like,
oh my god, they're Harrison Bergeroning Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, they are. You are so spot on with that. It's like,
we need to get Kurt Vonnegut Jr. in on this. Be like, can he comment on Dungeons and Dragons? It's like, doesn't anybody read my work anymore?
All modifier scores for races in D&D. I'll make them the same. Yeah,
there are no advantages or disadvantages to playing any particular character. One of the nice things about the racial traits was the up and the down.
Well, they do. They still have the positive modifiers. They just got rid of the negative ones.
Oh yeah, those positives are going to be flattened pretty quick too. Once they start realizing that, hey, it's still not as high.
we broke the balance of the game. Oh yay.
Yeah, nice fucking going. Yeah, that was like the whole idea, right? For every plus you got a minus. It was to balance out the character. Well,
it was like also to force you to work together with other characters so that you could succeed in whatever mission or quest you're on.
Well, the thing that makes no sense to me is halflings. Okay, halflings got a minus, I think, to like strength and constitution. It's like you're telling me somebody who's like 2.5 to 3 feet tall is going to be just as strong as a 6 foot tall human, or a 7.5 foot tall orc. Fuck off.
Yeah, but I mean, essentially, they're being overtly racist by, bowing to this.
Yeah, well, that and the whole thing with like saying, if you look at like, we've all said this, right? If you look at an orc and your first thing was, that's a person of color, you're the fucking racist. I mean, granted, we're being hyperbolic, but seriously, that is legit stupid. Okay, to say that people are equating orcs to black people, there's something wrong with you.
And man, I've seen way more white people with mouths like an orc than I have of any other ethnicity.
Well, like I said, I've always viewed orcs as being based off of like the Germanic tribes. I always saw them as being more German than anything else. So, okay, Bob. All right, Dungeons & Dragons players will no longer have a negative ability score modifier when building a character of certain races. of a certain race. Last week, Dungeons & Dragons officially released an updated era for a number of their source books and adventures. Volo's Guide to Monsters era was particularly important in that it removed the negative ability score modifier for playable kobolds and orcs. While kobolds originally had a -2 to strength score, and orcs had a -2 to their intelligence. I remember when those were -1s, but they kind of changed all that crap. And again, kobolds are really short. They would not be as strong as a fucking orc. Just saying. Additionally, the era also removed the orc's menacing trait with the primal intuition trait, which grants players proficiencies and 2 of the following options: animal handling, insight, intimidation, medicine, nature, perception, and survival.
Gary Gygax is rolling a D20 in his grave right now.
Rolling a D20, you could probably fucking hook up jumper cables and power an entire city at this point.
Yeah.
Dude invented a game so he could play with his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's a story-based game, which is even better.
Yeah. The updated rules reflect previous comments by Dungeons and Dragons team that promise better representation. Oh god, that is fucking seriously. And a movement towards giving player character individualism as opposed to forcing them to fit within cultural stereotypes. Okay, fuck. Okay, people, if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, you already knew that you had this fucking flexibility. Anyone who's actually ever played a role-playing game knows that this flexibility already exists. Okay, this is the thing I find so frustrating about this shit. It's also the reason why I like games like the hero system, where you really do have the flexibility to build your own fucking character. You really can individually make it. I understand that, because of even that they have like an elf gets these bonuses, but you actually have the ability to go and customize that character by spending points on your ability scores, skills, powers, magic, whatever. So yeah, I mean, anyway, to me, Dungeons and Dragons is the gateway game for people who are new because it's easy. And then you can get into more complex games. But this is so fucking dumb. So fucking dumb. And the reason why they have these stereotypes is to give people who are new to the game a template to work off of. So I'm looking forward to the Enlightened Barbarian.
Okay. I mean, you could already do an Enlightened Barbarian if you wanted in D&D. That was the point.
Yeah. Well, I jokingly say that because typically barbarians aren't supposed to be enlightened, and two, you kind of had that with Conan the Barbarian, where he's like reading a book, in a cage. It's like I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah,
it's too esoteric for me.
Yeah.
Now to kill.
What's his words?
Have a woman. Yeah.
Off woman, gra gra. Okay. It's fucking stupid. I hate this so fucking much. Anyway, it's just dumb. Okay, I mean, in reality, it's like I don't have that kind of reaction. I'm doing it for the entertainment factor. But seriously, this is dumb, man. It makes me die a little on the inside. It really does. In addition to removing the negative abilities modifiers, Dungeons & Dragons is also introducing a new set of alternative rules that gives players the option of moving ability score modifiers to other ability scores to match a character's background. These people have no idea of how fucking the real world works, man. Genetics plays a role in certain things, okay? I mean, it's obviously not that prevalent in our world now, but yeah, I mean... certain traits developed over time because of, not being able to interact with other groups.
Well, some people are hardier in in cold climates. Some people are more acclimated to tropical, equatorial climates. So it's just this kind of stuff is so stupid. I just
well, as I say, harsh environments make for harsh people. Or I should say, really a hardy people, but also harsh people. So that's stuff that you have to take in consideration. Soft environments make for soft people. Soft times make for soft men. Soft men make for hard times.
You know what's really sad is that as these rules get more integrated with the D&D, you're going to start hearing a phrase like "roll for reparations."
Yep.
Don't do that.
It's just going to be like obscene and completely crazy.
Roll for reparations.
I call for reparations. Yeah. Thank you, Gavin Newsom, you friggin' maroon. Oh man, God, I want to go back in time, 1984, and just and target my wrath at someone that started this whole friggin' disaster.
Well, like I said, this is stuff you could have already done. This is stuff players and GMs have been doing for years. Sure,
but you would have had to. There was always a penalty for, and then you had to overcome said penalty. And okay,
well, yeah, that was like one thing that they did in third edition is they started offsetting experience because of that. Like if you were a drow house starts off with a bunch of ability scores and a bunch of bonus powers and whatnot. Your ability to level up was a lot more expensive. So you had to get more experience points to level up based in like a normal human or a normal elf. So a lot more of the like specialty races like tieflings and drow and other things, the half angels.
But the way the games were built, and this is the problem, is these people don't understand how this stuff works. Everything worked into the game's balance. It's the same thing in like Magic the Gathering card game, all of that. It's the same reason why you have different ability moves in chess. It all feeds into an element of balance so that all sides are equal. And, you have true equality, or even in this case would have been equity. But now we've even removed that concept.
Well, the thing is equality is more important than equity. That's the thing. Sure. Equity is the equal outcome that the SGWs want.
And it's also more appropriate to use equity on property and items and not people, because people aren't property.
Yeah.
You're preaching to the choir, but the whole point is this game was built on that the only random experiences that were occurring other than your own decision-making tree was the actual roll of a die. Anyway,
so this is pretty funny from Imperial Lopia for $5. Have you heard the joke circulated in the Tolkien and 40K circles that ORC stands for Oxford Rugby Club?
Yeah,
I actually have heard that one. It was a long time ago, but I actually have heard that. That is still good. Let's see here. Coof 2020 ruined everything. We were promised The Walking Dead, but ended up with The Division Part 2. The Division 2.
Oh man, I wonder if they're going to have like how many points of personal privilege can you amass in D&D in the future?
Oh God, yeah.
Stop giving them ideas.
I want them.
I just want to make a parody of this. Really, I just want to make a parody D&D. Like discrimination in dungeons or something.
It's already ruined, man. It's already ruined. I'm fine with giving them ideas as long as we profit off of making fun of them for doing it. Tebow Flip for $5. Next rule will be privilege penalty based on how white is your character. You have a -5 to hit the brown person because you're white. Yes.
You lose 5 turns to defend yourself because you're white.
I'm declaring a point of personal privilege on the high elf. Fucking fuck, man. Seriously. This shit.
I have armor that's +5 against trigger warnings. I'm serious. We could probably like put this together and just sell the book online for jokes.
I trust me. I've thought about it. I've actually thought about it. Doing something dumb like that.
You guys are killing my favorite game, or one of them.
Well, no, we're just making another one so that we can rescue this game.
This would be a great animated series.
Well, the other thing too is that no matter what happens, they lose because they're focused on all their shit. So like the bad guy just like fucking wrecks everything because they're
Yeah,
too
but
busy
also-
fighting amongst themselves about privilege and nonsense rather than going and fighting the bad guy.
Yeah, it's self-destructive. But here's the other part too. You're going to see some skyrocketing sales in the edition of Dungeons and Dragons that's prior to these rules.
Yes.
They're going to get all those old books.
Yeah. I'm happy I still own most of my stuff.
Yeah.
Most of it, not all of it. I got rid of it over the years. Mainly because I got married.
That was the trade-off, huh?
Well, kind of. NanoRepo says, bring back second edition Thaco score. I really like second edition. The only issue I had was them not having skills, right? You know, I always thought that was cool. But it's like, oh, I wanted to make something, or I wanted to like try and get information out of somebody, you know, give me this role, you know, stuff like that. I want to seduce the bard in the inn, you know, shit like that. Anyway, in addition, I already read that. This opens the doors for more non-traditional characters, such as an orc wizard or a halfling barbarian. They kind of already had that with Dark Sun, the halfling barbarians that were cannibals. But, dude. Anyway, like I said, folks, these are things that could already have been done. These alternative rules will appear in the upcoming Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, which will be released later this year. No one will give a fuck.
No, nobody, no self-respecting old school nerd is going to go and buy that book. Or the next expansion, whatever that thing is. Look, right now I'm setting up. I'm building out a campaign for Vampire the Masquerade for people to play with me. You know, some of the folks that are in my gaming stuff.
Nice.
And I'm building out. Yeah, and after that, I'm building out, or already have the outline for a Serenity, campaign. If anybody.
What version of Vampire rules are you using?
2.
Second edition.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will allow for anything. That's the thing. If you want to play from a different book, I don't care as long as I have it, access to it, because I have everything in PDF form.
I think the best rule set for Vampire came out with the second edition Dark Ages.
Yeah,
that was a really good one. And actually, it's not 5th edition; it's the 25th anniversary. I actually have that one. That one's really good.
But see, I loved Masquerade. I loved, and I even liked crossover with Werewolf and other things in that.
The World of Darkness.
Yes, thank you. God, man, my brain is
Vampire and Wraith are 2 of my favorite games. From the World of Darkness. I'd rather play Vampire, or Wraith. Werewolf is okay. Mage is it can be a bit convoluted at time.
Yeah, but if you can mix all of that world together, it's an incredibly fun. It's incredibly fun. You can build a really cool party with really complicated problems to solve.
Yeah, my group, we did a really fun one. It was set in the Wild West. We're basically playing Werewolf Wild West, but we're doing a mixed group. I was playing a Malkavian who is kind of like the Joker, but maybe not as evil. It was more like kind of like, think of chaotic neutral. And the some of the other characters were wraiths. So we had a really interesting crossover. It was pretty fun. So I think what was it? I took the ability basically to hear the dead, so I could talk to the wraiths all the time. That was fun.
So Saturday, here's a weird thing. Well, actually, let me do this real quick. So I'm building out this campaign. My campaign for Masquerade or Vampire is going to be is going to be set in the 40s and 50s. It's going to start there in Chicago, and it's going to be mob bosses and everything else. So it's going to be freaking awesome.
So is Loden still going to be Prince?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Toxic Man Flu for $10. I'm a drow who thinks she's a dwarf that identifies as a cis wood elf who is waiting for a gender reassignment spell to become a half-elf pseudo-dragon. I am inside. Dude.
Well thought out talks.
That was well thought out. Very well thought out. So yeah. It's too bad that role-playing games are fucked.
Pretty much. Well, not the old ones, not the ones they haven't done anything with lately. Well, you know what? Do you remember that old role-playing Star Wars role-playing game?
Oh yeah.
I got the Weston Games, man. Yeah, I got those.
Yeah.
I got that shit downstairs.
Do you really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have none of those books anymore. I do not know where they went. I loaned them to somebody. Who knows? But
before we converted it over to the hero system, my group was playing Star Wars. You know, the D6 system.
Anyway, wow, we just hardcore nerded out, just like amazing. The audience is like, what are they talking about?
No, I think a lot of them know. I mean, like at least when it comes to D&D, because like here we have Roger the Shrubber talking about going and like I swear to God, I saw something about eBay, but maybe I clicked on the wrong person.
Oh, this is it. This says eBay. Oops,
okay, there we go. It'd help if I actually fucking read it. Yeah, I need to check eBay to see if I can monetize my. I'm blanking on word. Veritable library. There we go. Of D&D rule books I have stashed in my basement. Dude, I would hang on to that shit. I would totally hang on to that. But yeah, dude, like the biggest disappointment for me, Culture, was when 5th edition came out for D&D. 5th edition came out for Vampire, because they made it woke as fuck.
Yeah, I don't have any of those books, so I'm safe.
Yeah, I got the PDF because somebody told me about it. Somebody told me about there's this NPC named Rudy, who is a gangrel who is black, gay, Muslim, and fighting for feminism or something like that. That is an actual character. It is really funny. Dude,
that's what that game needed, because it's not like you could have been, whatever you wanted to be as a vampire. I mean, the natural assumption is, you've been around a long time, so you've been with everything at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let me see if I can find the PDF.
Clown World.
All right. I found it. This is fucking great. Let's go and share this shit. Here we go. Rudy, a new player on the Kindred Seed. Rudy commands an impressive following of anarchs, representatives for the oppressed and repressed minorities in a vampire society. Well, here's the funny thing, dude. Okay, if I was running a modern day campaign, I would totally have the Brujah infested with SJWs. And the idea is that they would have gone and started using the SJWs to fight against the elders, and then they find themselves kind of like the receiving end as they started embracing them, and how they start kind of taking over the clan and taking over the anarchs and pushing this ideology. It's like it's something the Brujah are like, oh, we just fucked ourselves. It's like I would totally do that in a modern game, but yeah, this is fucking funny. To his concerns, extended to Kin, as well as his recent entry into the kindred existence, has shown him that the fights mortals must undertake for equality are just as pressing for immortals. Rudy's nightlife hasn't changed much since the embrace. He still makes his haven in Copenhagen, still hangs with his same friends, and still attends the same clubs. He is only expanded in his concerns. In addition to advocating for fellow mortal minorities, he now champions gangrels kept. He now champions gangrel kept out of havens and feeding grounds by sprawl. Stand up for female kindred in cities. Run by traditional misogynistic elders and encourages the adaptation of progressive norms over tradition whenever possible. Some might think Rudy's contribution of practicing Islam and unabashed queerness contradictory, but few challenge the bear gangrel with this notion. Oh my god, this is so fucking funny. It's been a while since I've read this. Anyway, fast becoming the animal de jour, Rudy wins fellow discontented over with his targeted approach against elitists and the Camarilla headliners. Some European princes fear he will lead a crusade in years to come, an attempt to level the establishment. It's like that. I mean, yeah, that's very much an anarch thing, but it's just funny what happens if the anarchs got infested with the SJW ideology.
It sounds like the embodiment of Antifa BLM.
Well, yeah. And as Mad Mardigan points out, Rudy is the ideal SJW. Yes, he absolutely is.
And I tell you what, if the proper elder should sneak up behind him and train him.
Yeah,
okay. Just a thought.
So yeah, that's it. I completely forgot. Script just brought this up. So there actually was the D20 or Star Wars RPG. That's right. That came out back in the early 2000s.
Yeah. I just did a quick search on my computer. I have 96 PDF files for the D6 Star Wars, and I lost count of how many there are for the D20, but there's a lot.
I have a couple of the D20, but I have way more D6 because Weston Games was the shit.
Yeah. How many of us moved completely over to PDFs instead of the books? I think most of us did. Right?
I do at times. I still have my big stack of hero books, which is pretty funny because like occasionally you'll see them stacked over here on the weekend if I do a stream or something. I still have all my hard copies. Let me pull it up over here.
I think almost all my books except for like Mastery and that's awesome.
Grimoire.
Oh wow.
Bestiary. Monsters and Minions, and of course the core fantasy book for Hero. So
I have all those hardbacks.
You saying Bestiary triggered my Hello Siri.
Bestiary.
No, the
Siri is triggered.
Yeah, I think actually the closest thing to me right now, I think, is my Serenity book. Right
now. I do own a lot of the Hero stuff on PDF as well. So it's
just so much easier because then I can bring it up anywhere, like on my phone.
There's times where having the physical copy is helpful. But this is another thing, folks. I have 3 bookshelves downstairs full of RPG books.
And the nice thing is you can argue punctuation at certain points. We do that.
All right.
That's a comma. That's not the end of a sentence.
Imperial Lupia for $5. It was 40K that made me switch to primary PDFs. LOL. Carry codex. Oh yeah, dude, I get that. Carrying codex around was a pain. Yeah, I can imagine. Especially if you're carrying everything around.
Yeah, well, and that's what I said. I mean, you have a tablet or a phone handy, you can get all of the docs I've got because they're somewhere on my Dropbox. The
only time it's a bit of a pain is that obviously you can't flip through it like you can with a book. That makes it very easy. But yeah, when it comes to like war games like 40K, it's like it becomes a real pain in the ass when you're carrying your minis around as well as like a fucking stack of books. Yeah. So that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and the guys roll in with footlockers for that crap.
God, I was never a serious 40K player. There's like some stuff. I think I still have my 40K stuff somewhere. I may have given it to a friend.
I was on Jeff's stream the other night. World Class Bullshitters, the High Council. I was on the
High Council. That's always fun, man. Jeff's cool dude.
What an incredible honor. I just have to say it was really awesome. And they let me go. I mean, I know not a lot of people like you. There's like a handful of people let me just go because I'll just. But the chat came at me with like, what's my whatever legion? What's the best first legion or whatever? And I'm like going, dude, I have not played 40K and so.
I always like the Iron Legion because of they worship the machine god.
But I'm like going, all right.
Oh, the Iron Hand. Sorry, not the Iron Legion. The Iron Hand.
Yeah, there was like a bunch of angels, like the angels. I was a big the chicks. Crap. I haven't played in so long. I mean, it really. I only played because friends of mine played, and it wasn't really my jam.
Yeah, I sucked at it pretty badly. I always like, it's like, oh, I want to play Tyranids, and then I just get mowed down by Space Marines. It's like, clearly, Space Marines is the way to go.
They're awesome.
Yeah, because the two factions that are worth playing the most is Space Marines and Necrons. Yeah. Necrons are just as nasty, and I would argue they are a little bit more nasty. At least when I played. Because they had Gauze weapons, and Gauze weapons are instant rending weapons. And I don't know if they changed the rules, so it's been a while since I played 40K. I just remember them being really nasty.
And again, I mean, I've got a set of minis, a couple sets of minis, I should say, but I never got past. I mean, painting them was fun. I like that part.
I like easy things to paint. That's why I like the Iron Hand, because it's like, okay, black, highlight with silver. Okay, paint the eyes red, done.
Bruce Lombardo has like the most paintable minis and painted minis I think I've ever seen in my life.
So. Bruce Lombardo?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in my town.
Yeah, he does drawing streams with Machini 90 sometimes, and he's painting while Machini's drawing. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty funny because he goes to a game shop that I wouldn't say I frequent because I don't, but it's like one of the few game stores that's still in town. He goes there, and I think like another friend of mine plays there as well.
Oh, there's something cool. The Culture Boss and I are headed for a comic place that Nerdrotic actually promoted.
Really?
Yeah, to celebrate my monetization, right? Even though I haven't actually got through the process and all that with the AdSense link and all that other junk you have to do for that. But and that's largely because it's another business for me. It has to be linked to like an LLC. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So
that's smart. I should have done that.
Yeah, well, I don't like taxes. So anyway, we're gonna go there and spend money. I mean, we're gonna wear our Nerdrotic shirts and just spend. So it's gonna be cool. We're gonna video maybe, talk to the owner a little bit, but it'll be cool.
Right on. All right, Toxic Man Flu for another $5. I would argue that things got less creative after D&D second edition. So many rules that the DMs can't use their imagination like before. Yeah, that's the problem with some RPGs, right? Is that they get really overburdened with rules, and even my beloved hero system could be a pain in the ass at times because it is very much a rules heavy game. So we try and make it as easy as possible, and we have to use like a map with minis and shit when we have combat. And of course, we're playing online, so we're using Roll20, which has made things a lot easier when it comes to combat, specifically where people are at, being able to do certain things and whatnot. So that's helped out. But there's definitely been sessions where, like, the entire fucking session is a combat session.
Right. Have you used tabletop gaming simulator on VR or Steam?
I have not.
Yeah, there's a lot of games loaded in there, and there's opportunities to create your own environment as well.
I have serious. I have serious methods. I have several methods of creating maps. One of them is called Campaign Cartographer, which I've invested quite a bit of money into. And there's like some free like random dungeon generators online that you can find that makes life a little easier. It's like, I want to whip up a quick session. I'm gonna punch in some values and boom, instant game for the night.
Dude, I am so old school. Guess what's sitting in front of me?
Graph paper.
Graph paper. That's how I'm.
I used to do that too.
Hand draw everything, and so like city. In fact, the reason that's rolled over is because I got a city map in there. But like the city map for the game is all hand drawn.
Nice.
Squares are 5x5. You know, it's like each square is 5 foot by 5 foot, so it's down to the foot because I'm an insane human.
The thing that's kind of cool about Hero is that they use hexes instead of squares.
Yeah, and I actually have hex paper, but this is the way I go.
Yeah.
Actually, what's one of the things I wanted to do? One of the businesses that I have, I wanted to use my 3D carving machine to carve out hex pieces to do terrain maps that you could like make your own maps out of the terrain pieces. You could just lay them
cool.
on.
Nice.
Oh wait, you have like a CNC thing?
Yeah, I built it. Yeah, I have that, and I have 2 3D printers.
That's pretty awesome.
All right, gang, on for the main cringe event of the evening. Celebrities getting naked.
Well, to be more specific, unattractive over 38-year-old celebrities getting naked.
I would say that the only one that was there that was worth seeing naked was what's her name here? Sarah Silverman.
Oh, Sarah Silverman? Oh man, I've seen her naked. That's all hand trickery right there.
Oh, is it now? Okay.
Yeah.
No, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, she did it. She was doing that for a movie, and yeah, no one watching the movie expected to see that scene, and there was a lot of people going, "Oh my God, no!" in the audience.
I mean, well,
like it would have been. I think it would have been something like to behold 25 years ago, but no, not currently.
It's like nobody, and I mean literally nobody wanted to see Amy Schumer naked.
Not even her husband.
Yeah. Okay. First off, it's like I guess maybe it worked, because they got people talking about it. But my issue is that when you're trying to make a point and you're trying to get people to do something, this is a fucking gimmick, and no one's actually talking about the voting ballot thing. They're talking about these idiots being naked.
Yeah.
So I feel like it detracts from the message of what they're trying to achieve, but
100% actually. Yeah. Like you should be talking about the naked ballot and what it means and why they're talking about it. Not holding on to the idea that yes, you have these celebrities that decided to.
And let's be honest. We all know they're really naked from the waist up.
Pretty much, yeah.
No, they're not really naked. I seriously doubt it.
There's no mirror behind them to show us, like, yeah, that they're fully in the.
I think maybe one of them. I don't remember her name. She's not on this list.
I did not see the whole video because I just was not interested.
I didn't see it, but she like dips the camera down, so it's like I think it was enough to show that she actually was naked. But you didn't see Bush or anything like that. But it was just kind of like, whatever, man. All right. So a group of Hollywood celebrities, including Mark Ruffalo, Sarah Silverman, and oh, by the way, fuck Mark Ruffalo. Fuck that guy. And you know why I'm saying fuck that guy, right? Yes, no, maybe so.
Oh wait, what has he done this time?
Oh, where he called Mike Pence a white male supremacist because he was talking over Kamala Harris?
Yeah, she was doing the same to him, and both of those candidates didn't answer a single question they were asked, so that moderator was garbage.
Garbage.
Yeah, so fuck you, Mark Ruffalo. You are an adult pretender who is a complete fucking moron. That was
how disrespectful is it to Kamala Harris to even say, like, oh, she's not strong enough to combat Mike Pence from talking over her, where she kind of did say, hey, it's my turn to talk, and he's like, okay, fine. Like, here's
the thing. Here's the thing, folks. If you're going to be elected official and you can't handle somebody talking over you, you're not going to function well dealing with other nations that might be trying to push you around a bit.
Yeah.
Just saying. You're not going to bode. It's not going to bode well for you when you're making that negotiation with Russia. Okay. They're just going to walk all over you. So.
Well, luckily you have a translator that if they have balls, they can talk over the other translator.
This is funny. Kai-san is saying, Comics Division, you are famous. Lose the shirt right now. No, I got nothing you guys want to see. I am an out of shape 46-year-old guy. Okay. Maybe if I start working out again, that'd be one thing. But no, I have nothing anybody wants to see. Sorry. Okay. So, fuck Mark Ruffalo, Sarah Silverman, Amy Schumer, and Josh Gad. Have left little to the imagination after appearing completely nude in a new ad that aims to spread the awareness of naked ballots to the United States voters. And if you guys don't know what naked ballots are, apparently in some places it comes with a second envelope, which you have to put it in, and then you put it in the mailing envelope. And if you don't do this, your ballot gets tossed. So obviously this is something that is very much going to affect the left or people who are voting Democratic, because everybody else who is sane is actually going to go and vote in person because they want their vote to be counted.
Yeah. And all the early voting polls that are open are being have been swamped by people wanting to vote early.
Yeah,
exactly. Yep, and you know that largely who those people are.
Yes, indeed. And the ad, which premiered online October 7th, various celebrities appear in the nude via recording messages to raise awareness of naked ballots and urge voters to read and follow the instructions. Yes, you should always read and follow the instructions when something important like this is going on. And they could have done it in such a way where they were not naked, because
I want to know who pitched this idea to these actors.
And I want to know how many actors this was pitched to, and how many people were like, "No."
Yeah, I want to see the list that rejected this idea.
Yeah, before submitting their respective ballots or votes. Additionally, aside from those previous mentioned, the video also featured appearances by Chris Rock, Tiffany Haddish, Chelsea Handler. It was Chelsea Handler. She was the one who dipped the camera down.
But she's been publicly naked a lot, so she doesn't care.
Yeah, she doesn't care. But she's definitely one of those individuals like, no, I don't. I don't want to see you naked, lady. I really don't. Ryan Bath, Naomi Campbell, and a cameo by Sacha Baron Cohen as Borat. That was actually funny. The Borat thing was funny, where he's like, "No, I'm not taking my clothes off." Aspiring and comedically has little to say on the subject of American voters' rights. Unsurprisingly, and comedically has nothing. Yeah, got it. Okay, so yes, it was so fucking terrible. It really was. Shockingly, the video does not feature endorsement of any specific presidential candidate, but you'll know that these people are supporting Joe Biden. Oh. Dude, Chris Rock is looking old.
He looks bad.
And
he looks really bad.
I heard that he did okay on the hosting of Saturday Night Live last week, but he's looking thin. Age is catching up with him, and probably also the stress of being, the important Chris Rock in Hollywood, because he's still pretty popular there. So,
well, consider this. I mean, this was coming from Now This News, right? This particular video, and they lean so heavily to the left that it's obvious who they were targeting.
Of course, yeah, they're very much so targeting Democratic candidates, because we all know the Democratic candidates, or the people voting Democrat, are going to mail-in ballot, while everybody else is going to go fucking vote in person.
Yeah.
Naked ballots refers to a new Pennsylvania mail-in voting rule that requires voters to double dress their mail-in ballots in an extra security envelope when submitted in order for their vote to be counted. I don't get that, but okay, whatever.
I do. Have you seen how many ballots are ending up in like the ditch or like the trash?
Well, how is that going to stop them from not ending up in the ditch or the trash?
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe they're not blue like some states.
I don't know. I just want to make a double stuffed Oreo joke at this point. This new rule has handed down by the state Supreme Court in an attempt to ensure voting integrity in the upcoming 2020 election, which will see thousands of voters engaging in mail-in voting due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. And here's the funny thing too. Okay, you know the groups that are going to be most affected by mail-in ballots. I mean, disenfranchisement-wise, do you know which groups? Minorities and the young, people who have not voted before
and don't know what snail mail is.
Yeah. So yes, because voting by mail is very complicated, and you do have to read the instructions, because if you don't do it right, then your votes can get tossed.
Now, does your mail-in voting or absentee ballots, do they include postage, or do you have to go get that separately?
I imagine that they come with postage, but like I said, I don't know. I'm not voting. I'm not using mail-in ballots.
That would also throw a loop for the young. They're like, what the heck is a stamp?
Yeah. What's a stamp? Unfortunately for the celebrities, this ad was widely panned by individuals across the political spectrum. Democratic socialist and political activist Ryan Knight, who goes by the handle of Proud Socialist on Twitter, labeled this video as fucking cringe because it is.
Yeah.
And stated those who were ascribed to his political views did not want naked, out of touch celebrities telling us to vote for the status quo. Yeah. Okay. Whatever, Ryan. But yes, I agree with the fact that this is so fucking cringe.
I mean, if you elect, this is the problem I have with the way things are in this country. Biden is not a choice for anything but the status quo. Is the problem?
Yeah,
you know. Well, he's right on that. He is absolutely right on that.
That's how this country actually ended up with Donald Trump, because Hillary Clinton represented the status quo. Mm-hmm. What's even more insidious about the status quo is that it's in support of a globalist, normalization.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where.
Well, it's pushing globalization before the world is ready for it. And
we're miles away from it.
Oh God, yeah, not in like the next 300 years until you start getting everyone up to an economic level where you have to trade with everybody constantly in order for it to work.
Economics and education have to be equal, and you can't do that by going downward. You have to do it by going up.
Yeah.
All right. So sorry, Toxic Man Flu. You're I guess I was reading when this flew by me. So Toxic Man Flu for $5. One question. Amy Schumer was sitting down, right? Has anyone found her chair yet? Don't know. Yeah. I don't understand why she's popular. Jaffo for $9.99. I am so grateful for Sarah Silverman, the lady who mistook a construction mark as a swastika, for helping me figure out how to fill out my mail ballot. Dude, that's one of the things I don't know if she was actually being serious, but she probably was.
Yeah. As for the question is why people think Amy Schumer has a career, I think it's because people confused her for Nick Swanson, who's part of Adam Sandler's Entourage, and was a stand-up comedian and character actor. He was the star of Bucky Larson, Born to Be a Star, and did some cameos in Reno 911. He looks almost identical to Amy Schumer. I think people thought they were the same person. Yeah. Oh yeah. Just Google him.
That's funny. Lindsay Wego, a visual artist for conservative news outlet Daily Caller, asked, who's the Hollywood PR rep who thought this was a good idea? I almost responded to her because I thought that was pretty funny.
Pretty smart.
But yeah, that shit is hilarious.
Man, Josh Gad needs braces.
And hey, now some of us don't have. You know what? You're Canadian.
I mean, for an actor, your smile sells you, right? So you should have a smile.
he looks gross, man.
Yeah,
he's got more to work on than his teeth, bro.
Yeah.
Well, there's that, but I mean, a healthy mouth kind of goes a long way.
That, and it helps to maybe not eat as much. Maybe lift some weights. I need to take my own advice too, man. It's one of those things that the hardest part, man, like when I was actually working out, I had a trainer. He always said the hardest part was walking through the door. And he's so fucking right. But it's like I own kettlebells. I own stuff I can work out with. I'm just a lazy fucker.
I'm actually just worried for the winter because like we have Thanksgiving coming up in Canada, so and I have a weakness to pumpkin pie, and that's just nothing but sugar. And then because it's colder and I'll be spending indoors to be more warm, but I still have to go to work. I'm not going to be able to exercise outside anymore, so I'm going to be packing on some pounds this winter.
That's what the garage is for.
I don't have one of those.
I know you have an apartment.
Canadian, right? You're Canadian, right?
That is correct.
You just had fake Thanksgiving, or is fake Thanksgiving coming up soon?
It's coming up.
Well, it's when our neck of the woods actually did the thing with the natives.
Northwest Passage, right?
Yeah.
Or they tried to do the Northwest Passage, or what was it? They tried something and didn't do it.
No, we got to the other end of the country pretty quick. For our railroad system.
Okay, Eric Breen, can you repeat that comics division? I was crunching Pringles. I haven't had Pringles in a while, actually. It's probably for the best. However, most not partisan and generally agreed upon stance was echoed by users who declared that we really need to get these celebrities back to work soon, because if if we get one more look at me, I'm naked PSA, I'm going to leave Earth. Yeah, seriously, man.
See, now if it was like Anne Hathaway in her heydays saying, "Hey, doing that," like that would get your attention, but it's comedians and actors that are noted for limited range.
Well, the other thing too, okay, which is really funny, is you see the shit on the left so much. It's like, did you guys see that picture? It's like where they took this kids to this art museum, and it's a bunch of naked, overweight feminists flashing them.
Oh wait, yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
That was like last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the kids are like trying not to laugh at them.
Wasn't that in Europe? I think.
I don't know. Maybe it was. So you have shit like that. You have Naked Athena that happened in Portland. You always have these feminists that like are running around with like tape on their nipples and basically naked. It's like I don't get it. And there's nothing wrong with nudity and being naked and whatnot, but it's like when you do this shit to try and get attention, it's like you're overshadowing your cause with your stupidity.
Oh yeah, when I was living for a short time in New York on Manhattan Island, every Sunday morning you'd see at least 3 or 4 women walking home naked after a partying that night, like just not giving any just like koalas in the rain, man. No fucks given.
Yeah, I mean, I to a degree, I can get that one more so than like I'm here to make a point about a cause, so I'm gonna take my clothes off.
No, it's more like they woke up, they maybe got kicked out or ran out of their whoever's place they're at, and just like screw it, I'm taking my shoes and I'm going home, and that's all they're wearing.
Yep. Well, come on, man, put some clothes on. Just some bushes, right? Subway, bathroom. I don't know. Fuck. Oh, let's see. So, will Texas cuties kill Netflix? I honestly, I doubt it. I seriously.
No. But there will be ramifications. I mean, if the grand jury elected to move forward for a trial, something will come of it.
I don't know if they'll get to a trial. They'll definitely get an indictment, because the grand jury only has to just say that yes, it looks like a crime was committed. That's the function of a grand jury, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's they arrived at that conclusion.
Yeah, and then what Netflix has to do next is basically just point to the employees responsible for purchasing and distributing the movie, and probably terminate their contracts. And
remember, there's also the promotional materials that went wide as well.
Oh yeah, that would come with a fine. However, if Netflix decides to use the loss of subscribers as proof that they didn't actually make money off of this, they're not going to pay out anything.
Well, and here's the other thing too with this is that it's not like the filmmakers are going to get punished, and if you've read anything about it, you know that they, the state France supported the movie, they actually did have counselors on hand for the children. So, I mean, there's like certain things that's like, okay, it's like I can't criticize, despite the fact that the movie's dumb. And it's like, it's like, oh, I'm going to shoot this dog in the head to protest animal abuse. It's like that was severely stupid. I think that you can definitely talk about certain things, but it's like you have to handle the situation. You have to be smart, right, on how you do it.
But you had so many people in Hollywood coming forward and defending it as a coming of age film when that's clearly not what.
No.
Yeah, you can clearly tell they didn't even bother watching it. They just told what their publicist told them.
Yeah. That's the thing I don't get. What everyone's like calling it a coming of age. It's like these are children, not teenagers. Teenagers is more coming of age.
True. I mean, and there are actual good children movies where they are coming of age. Like for instance, I mean, it's not a great movie, but it's called Good Boys. Seth Rogen film. 11, 12-year-old kids kind of coming into their teenage years, learning about girls and stuff. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, and it's funny and it's sweet and it doesn't take any child exploitation. It actually makes fun of their ignorance and their innocence.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how you address those types of things. There is nothing, and I haven't seen Cuties. I've seen enough clips on social media to make my stomach churn.
I've heard just some guy's review. You know, he watched it, he reviewed it, and it's like it's there's only like a few scenes that has what was shown in the trailer. So it's like that the trailer really focuses in on the kids dancing, where there's a bunch of other stuff that happens in the movie.
Well, I would assume the dancing is kind of like your set pieces. There are only a couple of them in the film, and the rest is all about the social nature of what they're going through.
But the thing is, like, some of them, the stuff that he was talking about is like a bit worse, where it's like they're in the laundry room, and one of the girls is like humping the ground. It's like, what the fuck? It's like
one of them offers nakedness in order to keep, or some kind of interaction to keep a cell phone.
There's something. I think she like steals the cell phone or something. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't watch the movie. I don't know the plot. My biggest concern really is with the lawsuit is the potential overreach with the lawsuit.
Yeah,
that's what I'm worried about. It's like, yeah, this movie's crap. I don't know if any laws are broken. Like I said, there's definitely better ways of handling the subject matter. I don't know. It's just I'm curious to see how this plays out. I honestly I don't think anything's really going to come from the lawsuit.
You have to remember that IMDb changed their guidance on the film.
Did they? Would they change it?
Oh yeah, they switched that to
their original
to now like minor. I think what it was, right?
Yeah, and some of the statements in their guidance included that it was borderline, if not actually, child pornography. Or something similar.
Child exploitation. That's what they used.
Child exploitation. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but then they changed it entirely. And the guidance completely changed because of the controversy. They had to, suck up to Netflix.
Oh, so they backed that down.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. In fact, I know there's screenshots. I don't have them. I should have stupid. That was dumb. Normally I screenshot stuff. I didn't screenshot that. I would love to go back and say, this was the original guidance. There you go.
Yeah. So this is funny I love this. Mighty Porkin Plow a Stranger. Dude, it's so fucking great. Cuties reminds me of the South Park episode where the police chief dresses up a hooker, to sting Johns, but keeps sleeping with them, all of them, before he busts them. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yep.
I thought you were going to make a reference to the Raisins episode.
Well, that joke is done deliberately because it's all about the fact that it's easier to convict if a crime is actually committed. So they just took it to its natural course where it's not enough just to pay for it. They have to go through with the act, so it's irrefutable.
Yeah. And yeah, Steve, I heard about the 650 kids being auditioned.
Well, I don't know. So script, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe 650 was just for the lead role.
Probably.
Yeah.
How many auditions for
I
your
heard that they
typical
were
film?
self-tapes, and one of the auditions was just a normal dance, like ballet and some jazz and stuff like that, which seems kind of standard with regards to like a self-tape audition of whatnot. They're not going to say, "Hey, can you do these?" Because it's like it's choreography. They do it when they do it. It's.
But the next question, the next question. Well, I look if they had any in-person editions that included, the overt actions that they were asking for, I wonder where I would never want to see them, but I would wonder where those tapes ended up, because that would be of concern to me. Plus, these kids are never going to live this film down. There's always going to be controversy behind it, and there's always, and it's always out there forever.
Well, I mean, you've had movies like this before, like with Dakota Fanning, like, so I mean, it's not like these kind of controversies are new or anything. Dude, you are way better off watching anime, so don't bother watching it. Anyway, like I said, I think that at some point in time, this movie is just going to get memory hold. Like I said, my biggest concern about the backlash is like an overcorrection, like what we're seeing with the SJW.
The last thing we need is a government overreach on censorship of art.
Yeah,
it would be better if this thing kind of just got dismissed and Netflix did their own internal, quality control type of approach, because that's easier, because then it's private property taking care of their own stuff based on an overwhelming ethical concern from their customer base.
Right. What's up, author Stephen Walton? How are you doing, sir?
Hey, Stephen.
Hey, Stephen.
I'm going to send Stephen a link because I don't have Stephen on enough. Stephen's a cool dude.
Oh, and he's always late wherever he goes anyway nowadays, so might as well.
Yeah, might as well. Better late than never, I suppose.
All
right. I keep forgetting is like his username on Twitter is like completely different. So it's like sometimes I'll search for Steven and he won't show up. It's like, that's why. That's why.
He's all sneaky. He's a sneaky guy.
He is a sneaky guy.
Yeah, I hear he's joining the Hair to Menace. He's growing out his hair.
Oh.
I have heard this. Yeah, I've got people joining Ords and I. You have to remember, it was me and Ords. We're the Hair to Menace. You have to have the flowing locks. My
hair is not going to be that long, but my hair is actually is a lot longer now than when I first showed my face back in February. So it's I was watching that stream, and so was the boss. Yeah, look at that. You look like the Cure. You're gonna start. I can, dude. I actually have pictures of my hair is this length. I'll put gel on it and I'll frizz it out. I can get really Robert Smith looking.
Oh, don't cry.
Cry. Oh God, I don't want that to get clipped. Perry Chan's gonna see it and something's gonna happen with it. He'll paste my face on emo Spider-Man or something like that.
or Batman. I mean, oh my God, dude. God, if half of the stuff we've heard is true, that's just not that movie's.
No, that movie is going to go nowhere at this point.
Oh, yeah, man. It actually probably might save them time in production if they just recast the role.
Wouldn't it?
I haven't heard a lot recently. I know that there's delays. I know there's issues, but I have no idea what's going on.
Script?
I mean, they could do that. After all, Christopher Plummer replaced what's his name? Kevin Spacey in that one movie, All the Money in the World.
Oh yeah.
And it ended up working out to its benefit because it ended up being a successful film. So it can be done.
It can be done.
How did they put that kid in that role? I mean,
someone at Warner Brothers really wanted him. I don't know why. Well, I mean, you can speculate why, because every woman that was 15 when Twilight came out is now 35 and will not object to going to see a Batman movie if it's got Edward in it.
Okay, I'm willing to I'm willing to give him a chance. All right. I
was
like he was great in Tenet.
Yes.
Yeah. For the 3 scenes he was really involved in.
Yeah.
Oh man, are we going
Witch Doctor PhD?
What's going on, everybody?
How are you?
I'm feeling
doing,
good.
Steven?
I'm doing good, Scripts. Good to see you.
Oh, we got to see this, folks. We got to see this. Look at that.
Yes, Fat Steven Seagal made this for us. We're being our different script doctor avatars for Halloween, and so I picked the Witch Doctor.
So what are you, Culture Casino? This is
Well, I am apparently the bra wearing.
Trans Doctor?
The stacked doctor, I guess.
Stack Doctor.
Stack Doctor, or would it be something like
or now I'm Gaius Baltar.
Gender Reassignment Doctor?
Gender reassignment. Yeah. Fun
Sorry,
bag
I'm late.
doctor or something of that.
You know what? You know what? You're okay. At least you
I'm busy. Today I said I want to take a break from editing, and then Tom said he needed help with audio on something, so I was like, all right, let me help Tom, and then it took all day. So,
Hey,
unless you're taking a break.
I'm doing some work for Tom too. I'm pretty pumped about it.
Good, man. Comics, thank you for the invite. Sorry I missed last week.
Nah, dude, it's cool, man.
Oh, man.
It's all good.
My glasses
Yeah,
broke
I'm
out.
amazed I'm still
Are
awake.
you going to do something about the baldness that's going on here? I mean, is this intentional?
Huh? Yeah. That's how I get more ladies than you.
Well, he is married, so.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Some years, I'm good.
Dr. Trans.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Trans is coming back. I'm sorry, Script. I love you.
That's fine.
It's been a request. There we go.
Okay, Pattinson is being difficult, refusing to work out. Yeah, that part I knew. And stuff for the role. Supposedly only 13% of the movie has been shot. So yeah, that stuff I was aware of. I thought it was
And
like
only
22%.
a percentage of that 13% is Pattinson. So I mean, you got like an escape clause going on here. You can just recast him.
Dude, yeah, I mean, write him a check and send him out the door. You could put like anybody in that role. And
Imagine-
It
you know
wouldn't
what?
even be that. You could just he'd be in violation of his contract by not maintaining the physical requirements of the role. So they could just fire him.
Well, the other thing too is I know that he got the coof.
Well, wait. That's now in
dispute.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you watch the Doomcock video? I love Doomcock rumors. Whether they're true or not, I
No,
love them.
ever since like here's the problem with them not like sending the fucking alerts anymore. Is that I've missed out on so much stuff. It's like everything, like with the exception of like Tim Pool, who I watch religiously, like because I love the IRL podcast.
Yeah.
It's like I have to see it, and I'm like, oh, video. So a lot of these things I'm falling behind on, which is really kind of annoying. So like, unless I go to like their channel page or it comes up as recommended or in my feed, I'll end up missing it.
Yeah, I've become a Twitter holic. So I usually see people interact with. It's kind of like Facebook. People they interact with more. You see more of their posts.
Yeah.
So I saw that.
Well, the thing that's really fucking pissing me off is that I've been following Doomcock on Doomcock on Twitter since like 2017 when I first met him, and I keep getting unsubscribed to him. And he's like, he recently started following me on Twitter, and I was like, what do you mean I'm not following him? It's like that's weird.
Wow.
It happened again too. It's like it's really random. I need to see if I'm still following him or not.
Well, according to the go ahead, Culture.
No, I was just gonna say I have to resubscribe to people all the time.
Yeah.
Channels I follow all the time in the boss. I mean, now that the boss has her own like thing going on, she's like following people.
Well, the other thing too is because I follow so many people. There's lots of things I miss.
Yeah, man.
So I don't always see people posting videos and whatnot, unless I'm being added. Then I'll typically, obviously, I'll see it because I'll check my mentions. But
yeah, Doomcock put out a good video, and then it was corroborated in part by me. So Midnight Ted.
By the way, your mic sounds like it's kind of messed up a bit.
Oh well, bye then.
Now, it sounds like you're kind of underwater or echoey a bit. It's not as clean as it normally is. Is it just me?
No, he sounded that way to me.
Okay.
That Doomcock rumor said that he showed up on set, and the director, like he hadn't worked out. The director said, "Oh my God, just take 4 weeks off and go get yourself
go to the gym,
right.
like you should have been doing during the coof."
And then he shows up 4 weeks later, and he was so skinny. Apparently, this is allegedly, take it with a grain of salt and all that. That when he showed back up, the stunt doubles looked bigger. It was a very visible difference between the stunt doubles in the suit and him in the suit, or playing Bruce Wayne. He's very skinny, very vegan looking. So
that was the thing. Even like in what footage we got, he looked skinny.
Yeah,
like because he looks a lot different in Tenet. He looks a little bit more beefier in that.
Oh no, he's wearing a padded chest suit.
Are you serious?
Okay. Oh yeah.
My God. All right, never mind. That's why.
You can tell just by the thickness of his neck. It's still thin. And when you kind of bulk up your shoulders and chest properly, your neck gets a little wider.
Your neck definitely does if you work out.
Do you think that people are just reacting differently to the lockdowns, like from top to bottom? Because I don't know. If I was a privileged millionaire who got to play pretend for a living, I'd be appreciative of, the work that I put into my roles.
Here's the thing. Okay, if I was an actor and my body is basically what is getting me parts in movies, you're damn right I'll be taking care of it. All right. Yeah. I'm a lazy fat guy because I can be a lazy fat guy. All right. So, it's like I'm not fat. I definitely have like 76, 46-year-old dad bod. Okay, it's like I'm not the greatest shape. So
that's still an okay bod. I mean, that used to be like considered a tad fat like 200 years ago. Now it's just like the new normal and fit.
Like I said, I can stand to lose some weight. Okay, and I can stand to do some push-ups too, because God knows that I got flab. So
heck, man, like I mean, I'm not an actor, but if they want to recast Pattinson, I'll do it. And heck, I will wear like a hazmat suit and work out with a trainer every day to get to this physique that they need me for.
That's right.
What we need to do, what my wife and I need to do again, is the Whole30 diet, because man, I lost a lot of weight doing that.
The comment "I have Batman legs" has been said by Script Doctor.
Well, I do actually have Batman legs. I mostly just have to get the shoulders and chest to be Batman size. Like it's not barrel chest; it's still kind of slim.
Dude, I will look like the 300 if they're going to write me a Pattinson size check.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Fucking crunches, hanging from a bar doing, fucking leg reps and shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have weights hanging from me. I'm gonna have like children hanging on my arms. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I just need to go to bed early, and like wake up early and start doing kettlebells again, man. Kettlebells are fucking fantastic. Terminus East for $5. Hail comic script culture, Steven. Of all you doctors, I'd say Steven is the proctologist, because he's the one who prescribes coffee enemas.
I have nothing to do with that. That's this guy. This guy. Nothing to do with it.
Wasn't me.
Those are vicious rumors. Unsubstantiated.
I did not do that. That is Nerd Cookies and James. And it's
Christina Infinity, according to Christy.
Nina. Was the girl.
According to daddy issues. Another monster. Why can't I be cast as the lazy fat guy, though?
I would kill at that part. Kill. McDonald's body and all. I want that.
If you let this grow in, you'll be really handsome, Steve.
Why do you hate the beard so much, Culture? What's wrong? What's going on?
I don't know. It's like you slipped and then you realize.
I think he's threatened by it. Okay, his beard is threatened by yours.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Larry for $1.99 super sticker. Thumbs up. All right. Hey, Comics Division. Actually, let me highlight it. Hey, Comics Division. Killing it again, I see. Killing something. Myself slowly.
Did I miss the naked celebrity video?
Yeah, we didn't watch the video. We just read the thing and kind of made fun of celebrities getting naked.
See, and here, this is actually better than Pattinson. I have Nerd Cookies Batman.
Well, there you go.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
We're making Halloween.
Kilmer's Batman head there.
We're making Halloween nerd cookies avatars too.
Yeah, here.
I've just got the Adam West thing because I own the actual cowl. So
of course you do. Script Doctor's Batman.
He is.
He is.
Yes. And he's Batman legs too.
I want to get a picture. I want to get a picture of like the Adam West Batman and be Batman legs PhD.
Oh, there you go. That's fantastic. Okay, so one of the things that we're I don't know if I should be talking about this, but we all know Halloween's right on the corner, right? And there's going to be a Halloween Friday Night Tights. So I think my Halloween costume this year is I'm going to go dressed as Gary.
Yes,
and I know Gary watches my streams, so sorry, Gary, I spoiled the fun.
Are you going to dye your hair a little bit?
No, I'll get like a wig and a beard.
So
and I already had the glasses. Gary, I have very similar glasses to begin with, so I'll just do that.
I'm going to spoil it, and I'm going to do my Friday stream before you guys, and I'm going to be the Invisible Man, and I will pull it off, and it will be believable. It's going to be me.
Well, all you have to do is like wear like one of those like chroma key suits, and like have a chroma key background, and just like move stuff around. Oh, look at this! The microphone's magically moving itself.
Now I've got a sophisticated plan here, kids. It's going to happen. You guys, it'll be very enjoyable. Very, very.
No, this glass of water is coming. I don't have a glass of water. Oh, this mouse! It's levitating.
He's drinking his background.
Yeah, he's drinking his background.
How does he do that?
Tasty background.
It's amazing. So
Sarah Silverman looked like she had nice cans. I've seen them on the internet. They don't look like that.
We were talking about that, and according to Script Doctor, they're not as nice as she pretended them to be.
They probably were great like 25 years ago, but no, I saw her in a movie where she showed the goods, and the audience kind of cringed with me as well.
Oh wow.
Back in position in that shot, unless
she's holding them in the original manufacturer's position as opposed to what their current status is.
No, well, can't blame her. Well, they look good when she was old.
Yeah, they look good.
Well, Amy, what was the other one? Miss Piggy, what's her name?
Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer. Yeah, God, she didn't need to put your clothes back on, please.
Oh God, it's like I love the meme that was posted by Weaponized Nerd Rage. I gotta dig it up. It's really fucking funny. It's Adam Jensen from that one Cyberpunk game, which I'm totally blanking on, saying I didn't ask for this. It's like nobody did.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Now I need to go find it real quick.
We've got a lot of good cringe. The I'm sorry. What was it? The I apologize video that came out a few months ago. The imagined video.
I take responsibility. That's the
I take responsibility one. Oh God, it's fucking terrible.
God, they're just freaking out. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They're not.
This is what happens when publicists are overwhelmed by too many people that aren't working. This happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's disgusting.
That's disgusting, man. That's disgusting. All right, where is it? I have too many fucking Twitter tabs open.
It's all right. I'm a Twitter holic too. I gotta step away from social media sometimes.
Here we go. Bam. It's like I'm naked. Nobody asked for this.
Jesus.
God damn it. No. Nobody asked for it. Nobody did.
No.
It's terrible. Make it stop.
It got pregnant too, somehow. That's amazing.
It did, but it's never getting pregnant again.
Really? What about the fly on the head?
Yeah.
The vice presidential debates.
Talented fly.
Did you see the one with the fly? It had like a Biden Harris sign on it. I want to do like a mock news report where it's like someone at CNN is reporting about how it's a racist fly. It's condoning white supremacy or something.
Okay, Carmen Steele is telling me I need to Google Sarah Silverman. What movie was she in?
I don't know. I've looked it up. I mean, I'm pretty good at that.
Oh, I know.
That's a requirement for me. I see a
Yeah.
celebrity. How do you know? What are you going through my search history culture?
Well, yeah, you talk about Dr. Skin an awful lot.
I did. When have I mentioned that? Script, when have I ever mentioned Dr. Skin?
Who's Dr. Skin?
See?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, age is a hell of a thing, I suppose.
Yeah, look, okay, culture. Culture is the first name here. You are not cultured.
Yeah, not sharing that stuff, man. I'll get the stream shut down real quick.
Yeah,
And you're not going to pull a John Cox straight up porn.
No.
What happened, John?
Oh, I don't even talk about this story because John's very embarrassed. All I'm going to say is, oh God, who was it? Ray Parks? The Ray Parks photo. You remember that from a few?
Oh
weeks back? Yeah. He brought it up for a moment.
Was that actually confirmed that was Ray Park?
I don't know. As far as I know, no. But it was shared on his Twitter, or not Twitter, his Instagram, I think it was.
Yeah, it was on his Instagram. But you don't see the face, right? So you don't know if it's actually Ray Park.
Well, yeah, you saw the chin and you saw the gagus.
I guess. Was it supposed to be him performing the act or receiving it?
Oh no, receiving.
Okay, that's what I thought. I don't know, man. It's like I met Ray Park. He was nice. I don't know if that's necessarily I just remember that getting posted and there was like a big to do about it and then it just disappeared. I don't know.
Yeah, well, there wasn't much to talk about, really.
Yeah. That's
probably keep it clean.
That's really weird, man.
Hey, Steven.
What is your fetish? What?
I have no fetish. This is you, dude.
I don't even understand what I'm looking at.
Looks like a space toilet.
Script doctor, help me say something nice.
The flowers are pretty.
Well done, Script.
Flowers are pretty.
Flowers are pretty.
Flowers are pretty. Okay. So the last article we have to talk about tonight, I randomly saw this on Twitter. Somebody posted this. Apparently, there's a book called, this is a children's book, folks, called Antiracist Baby.
What is this?
I have no idea. It came out June of this year. And this guy wrote
this is like Santa's husband. Is this the freaking
no, this is a totally different guy. It's written by this guy named Ibram X Kennedy.
I think I've heard of him.
He's written a lot of books. If I'm not going to pull this up on Amazon, but he has a bunch of stuff, and he has this book called Anti-Racist Baby. And I saw this as like, why? God, why?
Babies are babies. They don't have any. They haven't been programmed yet. They haven't experienced.
Yes,
they're very secure.
Racism is taught, and that's why we don't have it in this country, or we only have it in a very small amount.
Right.
Dang it!
And it can be unlearned too, folks. Daryl Davis.
Yeah.
Daryl Davis is proof
man.
of that.
The real Jedi of the world.
Hey, what about? Do you think Biden has unlearned his racism? I'm just curious.
I have no idea. So apparently, another monster can confirm he saw it at Barnes and Noble. I'm not surprised, and it's there on Amazon. So,
what's the synopsis of this particular piece?
Oh, apparently, okay. So there are many terrific children's books about Black lives, although the field can hardly be considered representative yet. On half of the characters depicted in children's books are white, according to, majority of the people in this country are white. Just throwing that out there again.
Children's books are racist?
Of course, because they're too white. Here's the thing, folks. I don't know what the percentage is supposed to be. We all know that, you know, African Americans make up 13% of the population of the United States.
Mhm.
So I guess once we hit that 13%, we can stop. I don't know.
Wow.
I mean, I'm being sarcastic. It's like, what percentage do you want? Like 90% books have to have black people in it. I mean, this whole thing is just fucking stupid. Okay, I don't care. I don't fucking care. Go out, make your stuff, do whatever. But I hate when people bring up these statistics of, well, the majority of children's books out there feature white people.
What does that matter?
What? Yeah, exactly. Okay, if you feel that you're being underrepresented, maybe you should go write a book about it. Go write a book. Go write Antiracist Baby.
Right.
God.
Bestseller. New York Times list bestseller.
New York Times list bestseller. Antiracist Baby. Yeah, it's like fuck. Okay. As I always say, if you find that there's a deficiency, create something. Okay? Create something.
Yeah.
I am perfectly fine with Jordan Peele saying I'm only going to cast black people. Because if you want to be known as that guy, by all means, do it. But at the same time, you shouldn't be complaining when somebody else does it. That's not black. Just throwing that out there.
It's called a double standard.
Yeah, I hate double standards.
Mm.
And again, to me, movies is art, and I'm not going to tell a man how, or a woman for that matter, or a Zer how they should go and create their fucking art. Okay, so don't tell me or other people how to create their fucking art too.
Yeah, dig it.
Anyway, just throwing that out there, folks. According to statistics compiled in 2018, the Cooperative Children's Book Center at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, when diversity is featured or characters are people of color, the author and or illustrators may not necessarily be of the cultural being depicted. Okay, so they're complaining about white people creating black characters now.
That's ridiculous. That to me as a writer, because I write different types of characters, is really limiting. When you
would have gotten Black Panther, okay? you know,
right.
All you fucking fake frauds running around going Wakanda forever. You wouldn't have Black Panther. It wasn't for two Jewish guys, okay? Two.
I knew F all about feminism about 15 years ago, and I wrote a character, and I wanted to take her in that direction, and so I had to research feminism, to study it, in order to write a character that seemed believable. If I was told that I'm not allowed to write women characters or characters that are different than me, then I would have never been able to explore that part of our society or that part of culture. Yeah. That led to a level of enlightenment and understanding toward other points of view, even if I don't agree with those points of view. So I don't understand this segregationist idea that only if you are black, then you can only write black characters. If you're white, you can only write white characters, and so forth and so on. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. That's
creating more division. That's creating more walls between us as people. That's also pointing out the differences instead of the similarities between us. I don't agree with this philosophy. I don't like it.
I don't get it either. I really don't. Okay, the issue of cultural authenticity has affected many books once embraced as being multicultural. And that goes back to the thing where you're talking about cultural authenticity. Do your fucking research, okay? You don't have to be that person. I fucking get that shit. It drives me crazy.
I don't get it either. I mean, look, okay. The term white and black in themselves is kind of really narrowing down people's cultural heritages. I mean, I can actually more understand it with descendants of American slaves. I can understand it because really they were kind of robbed of their history.
Yeah.
But within the context of Europeans, there are so many different types of cultures in Europe. So many different clans and areas and traditions that, like the term white. narrowing everything down to the term white is racist within itself, in my opinion. It's like the people are trying to oversimplify who we are, at the same time point out our differences and create divisions between us. And I don't understand it. Like, I mean, I'm a Star Trek fan. I thought we were moving toward that Gene Roddenberry future, you know, where it was the merit of your character that counted, not who you were. But at the same time, I don't think it's wrong to have pride in who we were or who we are or where we came from. But I also think that it's really it's poisonous to us as a society moving forward if we keep pointing out differences and then isolating each other in our little pockets instead of exploring what it means to be another type of person or another culture or another gender. I don't get it. I think it's limited.
Grand Moff Inquisitor nails it. Comics can only write characters who show up on late live streams. Can you show up late to live streams? Yes, there is that. Real quick. Imperial Lupia for $5. This whole I need to identify with something is so juvenile to me. When I play Tyranids, I don't look at the Hive Tyranid and think, oh, that's me. Yeah.
You don't? You're not identifying?
So this is great. Okay, this is my favorite part is when they compliment something, they have to criticize it. I guess it's fair. I do the same thing. But even the groundbreaking and still wonderful book, Snowy Days by Ezra Jack Keats features the adventures of Peter, who is black, and has been criticized because its creator was white.
Wow.
That's the criticism. More appalling, issues of cultural appropriation and outright racism in many children's so-called classics. For instance, I'm waiting. Okay. No, I don't see it. Okay. Laura Wilder's Little House on the Prairie series, or Roald Dahl's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Okay.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. But if it does exist in those types of that literature, then it's also a reflection of the time.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, isn't it also a reflection of time? I thought they were going to mention Mark Twain, Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, that would be a good example.
Or is it Huck Finn? Which is the one that's more dull? Is it Tom Sawyer? I think it's Tom Sawyer. Yeah, because you have the name I can't say on YouTube or in public because I will be stoned. We'll just call him Jim.
Not the good kind of stoned either.
Yeah, not the good kind of stoned. So yeah. But yeah, so a white guy decided to write a black character, and apparently it's really good, but the biggest outrage is the fact that it was written by a white man. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Doesn't make any sense.
I have to Script Doctor's a writer. What do you obviously a fellow writer. I mean, am I off the mark on the way I'm thinking about this? But as far as researching characters for different stories, I believe that's limiting if you're not allowed to explore other types of identities.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole point of writing is to exercise your imagination. I mean, if you want to write about a person that's incredibly different than yourself, you have to build that character from the ground up, take a look at the world around you that you're developing and referencing, and then try to extrapolate different scenarios that character would be in, and then how they would react. It's essentially the ultimate form of role playing, and you just want to make sure it's as authentic as possible by doing as much research and understanding of human character and psychology, because it's the mind that's more unique than the body, and that's what you're kind of just putting down on papers. Like, you're not really, it doesn't really matter what the description is or the ethnicity is, whatever. It's the character's mind and their actions and behavior that's more important. The shell is just the happenstance, and it can be used to sort of inform certain actions in certain situations, but it's who the character is within that makes us interested in them more so. At least it used to be.
Right.
To some people it's not, but to me it still is.
Do you guys think social media has made everyone so superficial?
Yeah. Well, here's the funny thing. So Tim Pool pointed out the other day that there's a game you can play, and you can type in something racist, like, is not liking chocolate racist, and you'll find something just is Star Wars racist? Stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
god.
Is breathing error racist? Maybe that one won't be there. But
insane, man.
seriously, I mean, if you can Google is anything racist, and you'll find something written about it.
Do you know that Yelp? I was just reading something about Yelp is putting out a column where if you go to a business and you accuse it of racism, or a article accuses a business of racism, Yelp will put it into its own little special section with a reference to the comment or article that accused an establishment of racism.
The Inquisition. What a
show. The Inquisition. Here we go.
We're on a mission. I'm not going with that. But that's a great bit.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. Apparently there's something kind of racist in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but I don't know, dude. It's I Googled something. I found something. I just skimmed it really quickly. So apparently there was something, but
I missed it. I guess it got through my filter. It must have indoctrinated me, my white supremacy and everything.
I have no idea. Like I said, it's like I never read the book. I only watched the TV show, so I only know my exquisite superior knowledge of Charlie the Chocolate Factory is the 2 movies that came out, and one of them was really good, and one of them was shit.
You hated it? Did you hate the Tim Burton one?
Yes, I did.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought parts of it were okay.
You just can't fucking replace Gene Wilder, man.
Nah, brother, I hear you.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Carmen Steele. Is breathing air racist? Top returns on DuckDuckGo. Even air is racist now.
Oh, because it's more nitrogen friendly than oxygen friendly. We need equality in our air. It needs to be 50-50 oxygen, nitrogen, carbon monoxide.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Who was it to show that?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, all the kids that won the golden tickets were white. No black kids won. Okay.
That's right. And the one from the brown country forged it. The one of the South American ticket, remember?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
It was a fake one. It was it was before Charlie found the ticket. There was one found in South America, and then it turned out to be a forgery, and that's when he went and bought the chocolate bar and then found the last
Then found the ticket. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you go, folks. That is the new game you can play. It's called Is there an article about something being racist?
Mosquitoes are racist. Who played that video? I forget what live stream I was watching, but somebody played
It was Friday Night Tides.
Oh, was that? Yeah.
Yeah. We ended up watching it off the air the week before that. And so, yeah. Apparently Lady Gravemaster had to watch that in college, and it's just like,
wow. In college.
In college. Chocolate and white chocolate are racist. Let me pull this up. It divides the colors of the candy skin. That's one. Is white chocolate racist? Let's find out.
I like me some mixed chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Script. Oh God. Script doctor be killing me every week.
Okay, ugly duckling chocolate causes racist controversy at grocery stores. Cadbury's Unity chocolate bar criticized as trivializing racism.
Oh my no.
Oh, let me pull it up. This happened last year, folks. This happened last year. Oh my fucking God. Welcome to Clown World, folks.
It is Clown World.
All right. Da, 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 da. All right. Cadbury fails to solve racism with multicolored chocolate bar.
Oh, I remember this.
Oh, Cadbury, you racist fools. Oh,
The pigment gradient chocolate. Yeah, I remember.
I don't remember this.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Apparently, this is fucking great. How is white chocolate not racist? IGN.
my God.
Excuse me, that I'm choking on myself.
Okay, folks, it's official. Okay. We don't have real problems anymore.
No. We are the middle children of history, man.
Holy shit. Okay, you know what? I'm looking forward to the clap so we can actually have real problems again. You know, this is what happens when life becomes way too cushy for humans.
They make up problems. That's all the last 10 years has been making up problems.
Yeah.
And there are legitimate things out there that we could be concentrating our efforts on to make better for the entire world. But no, chocolate is racist.
However, I have to agree with Qui-Gon Gimli. Candy corn is racist.
Qui-Gon.
Okay, let's search for that. Okay. Is candy corn racist?
That is a lie. Candy corn is the nectar of the gods. Is it racist?
Tainted treats, racism, and the rise of big candy. I don't see anything specifically candy corn.
That's right, because candy corn is still pure. It's still pure.
Let's see. It may be National Candy Corn Day, but not everyone is amused. I don't see anything about racism, though.
It must be sexism. That's the other ism.
Yeah, it could be.
It's
world's most evil candies ranked. No.
It's shaped like a penis. It's an evil candy. It's a sexist candy.
Tainted treats, racism, and the rise of big candy. But this is talking about candy corn. Let's find out. Oh, yes, it does.
No.
Yes. Yes. All right. Let me pull it up. Tainted treats and the rise of big candy. Candy corn is an ubiquitous Halloween. Ubiquitous at Halloween as a tiny witches and skeletons knocking on neighbors' doors. And it turns out the story of how this and other sweet treats came in to dominate the ghoulish holiday is a bittersweet one, in which empires and racism are entwined as layers of a rainbow lollipop. Sorry, I'm having a hard time reading, folks. Fucking microphone in the way. When did this article come out? Back in 2015.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The roots of American candy boom lies in the 1920s. Sugar trade routes that had been disrupted during World War I were once again open for business. The result, a glut of sugar that led to steep crash in prices. Sugar was suddenly very, very cheap, says historian April. I'm not going to say the last name. Whose new book, Sugar and Civilization, explores the cultural politics of sweetness. Cultural politics.
Yeah.
This was a mess for farmers in the mainland United States, Cuba, Puerto Rico, and elsewhere, but it was a boon for the candy business. Several factories lay the groundwork for the rise of big retail candy that decade. As the 1920s census registered, it was the first time a majority of the U.S. population was living in cities. Yes, the birth of urbanization. With urbanization, higher wages, and low unemployment, households began to buy more produced foods. In early brain is breaking.
Can we read through it for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
An early casualty, homemade sweets.
Thank you, casualty. That's the word I was looking for.
Donuts, taffy, and apples draped in caramel sauce began to be jettisons in favor of store-bought candy. The iconic candy corn, those inch-high treats, roughly mimicking the appearance of corn kernels, first appeared in stores during this debate, according to the Oxford Company of Sugar and Sweets. And then
racism.
Then there was
candy corn is racist. Confirmed.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, it's not. It's not racist. And then there was the prohibition. Basically, folks were swapping one vice, alcohol, for another. People at the time often said that candy and soda consumption was increasing because of prohibition, Merlot tells The Salt. What's more, she says many U.S. soldiers have returned from World War I with a sweet tooth, thanks to candy included in their wartime rations. This helped spread the candy habit beyond the women and children who had previously been assumed to be the main consumers. Oh, those women. One man who played a pivotal role in developing the candy retail during the era was Herbert Hoover, not as president, but in an earlier role as the head of the Department of Commerce. The confectioners were model clients for the Department of Commerce, says Merlot. They organized into industry associations, did cooperative national advertising campaigns, shared market information, used data generated by government-employed statisticians, and promoted modern business practices. And one of the main thrusts of these collaborative campaigns was making more holidays candy-centric. At the beginning of the 1920s, Easter and Christmas were easily associated with candy, says Merlot, but this meant that candy makers' businesses was highly seasonal. That they desperately wanted to level out the demand so they could sell candy year-round. They tried to turn a handful of holidays, George Washington's birthday, St. Patrick's Day, and July 4th, into candy holidays. None of these succeeded.
What does wine have to do with any of this?
I don't know.
Merlot, sorry, yeah, because I can't fucking read.
I'm guessing. I could totally be wrong on that.
No, I think you're right. It is Merlot.
But with Halloween candy, the candy link stuck, perhaps of the season's older residual associations. She says, like the Day of the Dead, the long tradition of eating apples, including candy ones, and autumn time, and also leaving out sweets for those of you in the Celtic tradition to keep the bad spirits at bay. But candy also had its bitter side. Well, they never like to recognize our side of the pot, you know. The candy market was the candy market was a radically differentiated one. God, I couldn't say that word. The more expensive variety.
Walk into my pain, Stephen. What's that word? This is why I like using the Mac, because there's text to speech.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get mentally stuck on something, I'm like, click. Oh, okay. I'm a fucking moron.
My dad grew up with it. The same thing. So I used to have to help him. The more expensive varieties, such as hand-dipped chocolate bonbons, were aimed at young white women and middle-class children. Go ahead, buddy.
What? No, I was going to say point of personal privilege. Candy corn.
You forgot your pronouns. Point of personal privilege pronouns. That's how it works.
Sure, but candy corn is racist.
Candy corn is the nectar of the gods culture. Don't be a bigot.
It's offensive to people who have to spray tan like George Hamilton and Donald Trump.
It's sugar flavored wax.
I've actually never had it, so I have no real stake in this game.
You're really not missing much.
Steven, if you want to play this game, are you sure you want to play the candy corn game?
We're going to save our culture casino. Culture is going to come back across the team candy corn. Culture loves candy corn. The candy market was a radically differentiated one. The more expensive varieties, such as hand-dipped chocolates, bonbons, were aimed at young white women and middle-class children. The cheap stick candy, meanwhile, was targeted at African-American and immigrant Irish and Chinese children. Oh boy. The one advertisement of the era featured a trio of Irish, Chinese, and Negro lads in its ad's own language, chopping on a long peppermint candy cane with the triumphant tagline, "No race, creed, or color in candy appeal." The image, Merlot says, was a direct reference to the pictures of barefoot black children and Caribbean children sucking on sugar cane, which were common in the 1900s. These pictures were often captioned with native sugar mill and native cane grinder. This may have been an unrefined way to eat sugar, but it proved at the time that it was natural to eat sweet, says Merlot. Civilized children, of course, would eat little while refined cubes of long silver tongs, she says. And she says the same race lines were maintained in the production of candy. African-American women were employed in factories making cheap candy, while only young white women were employed to hand-dip candy in warm chocolate, since it was such an intimate act. Yeah, is this true? Is this
no
true? Confectioners in the 1920s drew on long-standing racial stereotypes in their joint advertising campaigns. One of the more grotesque examples, as for Pickaninny Freeze, a 5-cent frozen dessert from Hendler Cemetery Creamery Company. Pickaninny is an offensive term for a small black child. Though the product was a strawberry ice cream dotted with chocolate seeds, the ad featured a character of a young black girl with oversized red lips chomping on a huge slice of watermelon. Well, that shit is racist.
Yeah, and we also have to take a look at the fucking time period too from when this shit came out, right? They are going way back for this article to say candy's racist.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's
way the fuck back, 1920s, folks.
It's systemic comics. So, oh my god. A fruit laden with race associations with the slogan "Eat seeds and all." In 1923,
100 years, folks. They're going back 100 years to find racism in candy.
Dig it up. There's been no progress. You know, like in 1970, well, then I'd say 1960, 1970, 80, something like that wouldn't have been drummed out, right? You're like, no, we can't use that. That's awful. That's how we used to be, and that we don't want to be like that anymore. Like
I think even like in the 1970s, a lot of that stuff went away.
Yeah.
Maybe in the 1960s.
Well, the counterculture of the 1960s and the movements that were going on at the time really did bring a lot of recognition to the fact that even though a lot of people knew that things like that were disgusting, that it was a misrepresentation or it was degrading to a community, they let it go because it wasn't them. And then you had it in your face in the 60s, in the counterculture era. So, yeah, I agree. In the 70s, a lot of this stuff went away because people weren't having it anymore. You know?
Yeah.
In 1923, the confectioner in Portland, Oregon, came up with a candy called, I'm not going to say that, Toes.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Yeah. The ad had a cowboy in blackface whose feet were oversized Brazil nuts dipped in chocolate. Well, he had big nuts. I call it the Jim Crow candy hierarchy, says Malone in the race-based confectionery advertisements. The other problem with the rise of store-bought sugar and candy consumption was in part a cycle of debt for African Americans, says Merlot. The great black intellectual and activist of W.E.B. Du Bois, for example, saw a direct link between sugar and other store-bought foods that black sharecroppers were enticed to buy and the growing debt ensnaring them. It's a bitter history to chew on as we usher America's biggest candy holiday. Woo! Well,
this is actually written
2015.
No. October 30th.
Oh.
Naturally, it has to be for Halloween.
Devil's Night.
You're muted, brother.
No, I figured it out. And the day before, the holiday, of course, you're freaking going to release that bullshit article.
Of course,
not a holiday. It's just a fun social event for everybody. You don't get paid extra for it, although you should.
Actually, you should. It's an ancient holiday. You should absolutely be paid for it.
Yeah.
It crosses multiple different religions, actually.
Yeah,
it does.
We stole as much as we could from those silly pagans.
That's right. But you know what? At least it was.
Where's my cultural appropriation?
But it was saved for posterity, no matter how it was done.
Actually, Steven, you have the biggest gripe of all of us. You should just start swinging that sickle.
I think the sheep leggings are the most offensive thing I've ever seen for pagans.
People against goodness and normalcy.
Yes.
People against goodness and normalcy.
Well, the other thing too is that
Dragnet,
this is something I don't broadcast, but I'm a lapsed pagan.
That's okay.
Yeah, much like Steve. I had no idea Steve was a pagan until I think I talked to you for the first time, and you said something. It's like, yes, okay.
Yeah, there's there's phrases that you can understand from different people,
There's certain phrases that pagans use to recognize our own, I suppose.
Yeah, we are everywhere.
And you guys have been dragging trees inside for thousands of years. So
yeah.
It was a log at first, at least.
Yeah, the easiest way to describe what I believe is I'm more of an animist than anything else now.
Cool.
Yeah,
I celebrate Festivus.
Festivus is an awesome
for the rest
holiday.
of us. Yeah.
Got the pole. Got the feats of strength. Got the airing of grievances. It's all a lot of fun.
The airing of grievances.
I don't discern. I celebrate everything. So bring it. If you got a day, I'm all about it. I'm happy about it.
Yeah, man. That's how I'm with holidays. As long as you don't have to burn anybody at it, I'm down. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't done that in a long time, although we're getting there.
So we have a few questions here from Robert. Is Halloween racist? Don't be stupid. Of course. Yes, it is. we don't have to Google it. There will be an article
cultural
out there.
appropriation of demons and fairies and fictional characters.
Well, no, what they're going to go to is the costumes. It's like, don't my culture is not costume stuff. It's like that's
Well,
what
you
they're gonna
remember
go
when Prince Harry dressed up as a certain
yes, certain
soldier from another
cer-
country,
soldier from another
from one of
time
the
in
big
Germany's
wars.
history. Yeah. What kind of pagan? What kind of pagan are you?
Wiccan. I'm Wiccan.
Wiccan. Okay.
Medium rare.
Medium rare. Like I said, I consider myself more of an animist than anything else. I don't follow anything.
I guess
in particular.
technically I'm neo-pagan. Technically.
Yeah, neo-pagan.
Yeah.
No, that's all pagans, man. They're all neo-pagans.
And I'm just Mr. Anderson. So
Yeah.
Culture's the hair of the fandom menace. He stands for us all. He brushes for us all.
Brushes, conditions.
Right. We need to do like a shampoo commercial for culture.
oh, dude,
Oh, did you hear him and Orts is going to be starting their own YouTube channel about hair care?
Get
That'd
out.
be awesome.
That's the best joke ever. Really.
Gary thinks you're serious.
I was kidding. Gary, I was kidding. Come on.
Or
No,
he
don't
may
run
have
with
been
it.
kidding with me when he said that, but yeah, he's like, no, they're serious. I'm like, okay.
No, oil treatments, I can recommend some good conditioners, right now I'm in a phase where I need to double wash and double condition. And I have this volumizing shampoo that'll just make me look like, David Lee Roth. So that's
That puts my bar of soap to shame.
Wow. I mean, do you
I hope you're joking, Script.
Yeah, I'm joking.
Okay.
do you give enough attention to the drapes or just the curtains?
no, man, everything gets it.
Gotcha.
But it's more like hardwood floors, in certain areas.
Ah.
I don't
Honey.
know. I don't know what that means, and I don't think I want to know.
No.
Yeah.
No. But you know what I don't do? I don't slip with my razor and ruin my beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always
Hey,
a bad
Steven,
thing.
come back on camera. Steven, show everybody your oop.
Yes, again. Listen, you know what I hate? Mad Mardigan. Man, as soon as I did this, I was on a live stream. And Mad Mardigan was on there, and he said, "What did he say? You look like Rick Steiner, that asshole."
Dude, thank you,
That's
Matt.
Steven Seagal. Put my head on Rick Steiner's body.
I love this. Okay, I like white furniture. Does it make me racist?
Yes.
Or white
No,
supremacist?
That makes you very risky with regards to like liquids of wine and
Got
food
plastic.
on your
Put
furniture.
plastic on that furniture.
Yeah.
It needs a
You got to wrap everything nowadays.
needs couch condom.
You don't want to get sick.
What the hell, RDV? You always show up at the very end, man. I don't feel the love anymore, man. I really don't.
Where is the love?
Wow, holy shit! Scott's actually awake. We're trying to get Scott
supposed to
out
be
of
asleep,
forever,
man.
No,
No,
he's going to work. He's got.
Yeah.
Oh, he's actually up to go to work. Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah, but doesn't he have to go in like 2 hours?
Yep.
Here you go. That's my tribute to Scott there.
He should be at work, so we know how much work he's doing.
That is funny as hell.
Credit to Fat Steven Seagal for that.
God damn, he is really good with that shit.
There's something creepy
Yeah.
about that. I don't know.
You still go live? Oh, come on, buddy. That's like a stupid question. I'm not going to dignify that with a response or an answer. I mean, come on. Here we are. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we? Let's finish this article, and then we'll call it a night.
There's more fun to talk about. Candy corn. Candy corn's good.
Candy corn. Anyway, okay. So, for instance, Laura Wilder's Little House on the Prairie, Robert Dahl's Charlie and Chocolate Factory make them questionable fodder for today's children, no matter how nostalgic parents may feel about books they once cherished. Okay. For these, and it would be nice if they actually cited what the actual racism was with those books, but okay, whatever. For these and other reasons, notable Black Lives Matter movement and the recent worldwide demonstrations demanding racial Yeah, I was gonna say equality. No, equity. This is the thing we always talk about, folks. Is equity?
It's not equality.
It's not equality, and the end of police brutality against people of color. Ibram X. Kennedy's Anti-Racist Baby, illustrated by Ashley
Lucas Shabetsky.
Yeah, I was going to say that doesn't sound very black to me.
No, that sounds Ukrainian or Polish.
Yeah, Polish, Eastern European.
They're from the dark side.
Yeah, Western Russia.
Yeah, pretty much. Good night, RDV. I will catch you later, dude. Has sold out online in bookstores around the country. What could be better than a book for little kids written by an author of a best-selling How to Be an Anti-Racist and stamped from the beginning, the definitive history of racist ideas in America. Okay, so this is
that another children's book? Because that's a really long title.
That is the name. That is another book he wrote, which won National Book Awards for nonfiction. So, good for you.
Or for severe boredom.
Oh man.
Let's read that title again. How to Be an Anti-Racist How to Be an Anti-Racist. That's the first book. Okay, there's two. Stamped from the beginning, a definitive history of racist ideas in America. Okay.
Oh, I actually liked it better the other way.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what the fuck, dude? That's like a weird ass title.
It's too bad that, because I would totally write a parody book with that type of thing, type of title, but I could never get it published by the publisher I work for because that would sell like crazy.
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong line of work. I need to write some anti-racist books.
Yeah, you really do, man. You probably get a bestseller. All you have to do is like make up some really insane shit, or just like over indulge on something.
Yeah, make up a conspiracy, then conjure up facts to support it, and then present a solution for the problem you have uncovered that has been systemic in your culture for say 350 years.
Our book's racist. Books to read on racism and white privilege. No, okay. Our book's racist. That's what I'm looking for. You can write about the systemic oppression of books.
Comics.
Yes.
I mean, the paper is white.
Actually, I would say the paper is flimsy, and therefore it's also offensive.
Yeah, and SJWs are actually racist. That's your book, guys. Come on.
And not all paper's made from the same trees, because there's brown trees, there's white trees, there's birch trees, there's.
I'm already writing those books, so I need to write I need a new theme.
Testicles are racist.
Testicles are racist.
Testicles are racist.
Yeah, they're sexist. They're misogynistic.
They're always beating on women.
Yeah. The illustrator, because I'm not going to try and say her name again, stated on her webpage, "I use illustrations and visual art as a tool to strengthen social movements for racial justice, immigrant justice, climate justice, mental health, and the alphabet
These people are
liberation." Okay. What are you liberating yourself from?
A mental health professional.
Sanity. They're liberating themselves from sanity because sanity's oppressive.
Whenever I hear liberation, women's liberation is like, what are you liberating yourself from?
Hopefully it's their clothes.
Sanitation?
Yeah.
Running water?
Intelligence.
Automobiles? No, seriously. It's like, honest question. What the fuck are you liberating yourself? Oh, from men. Okay. Women are already free to choose to do what they want.
Yeah, they've actually had a lot more influence and power on the dynamic than we give them credit for, because without them, the rest of us wouldn't be here.
Oh, yeah, that, and they're social creatures. I mean, I'm not trying to validate any kind of historic sexism or where women have been held down, but due to those conditions, due to them being in those conditions, they became very social creatures.
Oh my God, we found it. Is reading racist? Reading is racist. Andrew Hamilton, 2013.
Get the hell out, Carmen. Are you serious with me right now?
I'm gonna have to look this up.
Oh, indeed. I need to see this argument.
Oh,
I mean, we know math is racist, but I just thought that was
Yeah, and math is invented by human as a social construct, and not something that's universally found at all.
Wrong.
Like,
Okay,
You're wrong, culture.
I'm. You know what?
All we can
These
do
make me so crazy. They make me so crazy that I might not wash my hair, but I have to.
both halves.
Okay, I'm not finding it. Let me.
I don't understand things like reading.
Oh my god, this is fucking great. Reading to your children is racist and unfair for all the minority children.
Get the hell out of here.
every parent should read to their child.
Yeah, and there was like a black dude that had this show called Reading Rainbow. You know,
Yeah.
remember?
LeVar Burton, great guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he used to wear a visor on a show because he pretended he was blind, which is
Terrible.
blind appropriation. He was blind appropriating people. That's horse really.
Yeah, I love LeVar Burton. I grew up with that guy. You know, like I Reading Rainbow every week. I'd watch him. You know, it was a very, very powerful part of my.
You're culturally appropriating his rainbow.
It's a very important part of my childhood, of me growing up. When I saw him as playing Geordie,
Carmen, if you follow me on Twitter, DM me the links. I'd like to find these articles. I haven't found the ones that you're referring to. At least the is Reading Racist.
When I saw him work playing in Star Trek: The Next Generation, I was like, oh my god, that's LeVar Burton, Reading Rainbow. You know, things like that. That brings people together. If I was told that reading is racist and that I'm being told, you know, that or that LeVar is racist or inferior due to his skin tone or whatnot, if that had been the culture, the overwhelming culture around me, I would have missed out on something very impactful to me that helped me to grow as a young person. And that's where we're headed. That's where all this is. That's where all this is leading to.
Yeah, extradome.com. Look, Steven, you just have to take it from my friend Fatal J, who is a creator not only on YouTube, but of an incredible
Fatal
comedy.
J is an awesome dude.
Ninja Black.
Oh, God. Love that guy.
Go check it out.
Yeah, he says, take a look. It's in the book. It's Reading Rainbow. I love what he's saying.
Yeah, man.
Okay, yes. Carmen, you can email me at comicsdivision, just like how it's spelled with the channel, at gmail.com. That's the easiest way to
You don't have Pixel Nation email yet? Comics?
I do actually have Pixel Nation, but I think it's pixelnationmedia@gmail.com. Or are you talking about using the actual address?
Yeah.
No, because I don't actually have a mail server. I just use Gmail. Like even like one of my personal domains, I just route through Gmail. I'll have to find something else and do it that way.
You can get me at my domain. I don't know what's wrong with you. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, considering I host all my own hardware, I wouldn't say I host it. I have it hosted elsewhere. But
I host all my own hardware too. But I actually have my web page hosted elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't have an actual mail server set up. I'd rather use the third party service. It just makes it easier.
It's smart. No, absolutely.
Yeah. I used to run my own mail server like a long time ago. And
if you run Apache, it's an easy ad. So
well, yeah, I was using I don't remember which application I was using. It was a Windows one. It wasn't I think it was iMail. I was using iMail for the longest time. But I got rid of the Windows and went straight Linux, and didn't feel like messing with the Linux mail server. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah. So anyway, where were we? Yeah. Arthur Kennedy, who began his career as a journalist, is now the Andrew W. Mellon Professor in the Humanities. Okay, professor of history, and the founding director of Boston University Center for Anti-Racist Research.
He made himself his own job at a university when he had no other qualifications.
Wow.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow. It's an entire industry for these people.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And if you get a humanities degree or gender studies degree, you have to invent a job because
and thank you, Carmen.
And it's not really a job creation thing. It's just a job creation of one. So it's not really helping anyone else.
No, but I mean, seriously, if you get a gender studies degree, what are you qualified to do?
Yell at people.
Yeah.
Your only qualification is telling men that they're sexist.
Human resources, like an assistant to a human resources manager, I guess.
Maybe, but there's only so many CNN jobs available for those whack jobs.
Well, you're a person who fabricates problems, and if you're not hired into a company to fabricate problems, you then fabricate a problem about that company, to which then they hire you to eliminate that fabricated problem, so that you can come there, get a job, and fabricate problems.
Oh, wow. Is that the Sarkeesian method?
It sounds like the Sarkeesian method.
Or Zoe Quinn. I mean, what you pick? There's a freaking apple basket of those. Yeah,
the Quinn Quagmire. Yeah.
Oh well, it's real.
It is real. Well,
no. The article she sent me. It's like it's actually an article.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'll pull them up once we get through this. But yeah, it's not like anything. Only one of them is like from. It's from National Review. I don't know how reputable that site is. The other one's from Counter Currents. That name sounds kind of familiar to me. I don't remember why. Anyway, so yes, he basically made his own job as a anti-racist researcher, as well as the 2020-2021 Francis B. Cashin Fellow at the Radcliffe Institute for Advanced Studies at Harvard University. God damn, that was a mouthful. It's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
In an interview in the Los Angeles Times, Kennedy explains his reasons for adapting his books for kids.
I want to indoctrinate the children.
Exactly. I have a 4-year-old daughter. She wanted to have a book. She wanted to have a book read to her. I wanted to have a book I could read to her. Okay. I'm really excited about the book. God damn. Okay, so it goes back into the whole thing. You got to see yourself and everything. You can't relate to anybody unless they look at you or they are you. I only relate to myself. I don't relate to other people.
I have a book you can read to her. Kai MFS's Space Crime Domino, which has a rainbow of color.
A rainbow.
Fuck humanity. Anyway. People are stupid. I'm excited about the book because I wanted to provide a tool for other parents to have conversations with their children about racism before they can even understand it.
Oh,
it really is indoctrination.
Yes, it absolutely is indoctrination. Absolutely. We've got to let these kids know that they're racist before they grow up, so that it's the Sunday school analogy, in my opinion.
Yeah, pretty much. The idea that when they're older, they have heard so much about it, it won't be anything mysterious or taboo. It's a great goal, but it doesn't quite succeed. And not for the lack of trying. In rhyming couplets, the color board book sets out 9 steps to make equity a reality.
They're trying to normalize this idea that in order to elevate a segment of the population, you have to devalue another. And that's all equity is. It is imbalancing the scales. It is not equality by its very nature. So you want to teach these children that either they need special help in order to advance because they're not smart enough or they're not good enough. And meanwhile, telling other children that they are privileged by their very nature and they're better than these kids. So they have to be deflated. They have to take a knee in order to elevate these other people. Like the whole idea of this has nothing to do with equality and is quite offensive to me.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, so step 1, open your eyes to all skin color. Step 2, use your words to talk about race. Step 3, point at the policies as the problem, not the people. Well, that's usually the case, right? It's usually the policies that's the problem, and not the people. Even when the problem's with the police, it's usually the policies, not the people.
Right.
The training is the problem. Okay. Celebrate our differences. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
Knock down the stack of cultural blocks.
No such thing.
Yeah.
Confess when being racist.
Confess.
Grow to be anti-racist. And again, it's like if you didn't know what the word meant, the fact that anti-racism is an ideology, you'd be like, okay, yeah, being anti-racist, big fucking deal, right?
Imagine this. Imagine being brought up that everyone's a human being. Imagine being brought up without pointing out the differences. Simplistic.
Did you see the video of the guy? He's standing in front of his business. He's protecting his business. He has an AR-15, and they come up to him. They're saying, "Say Breonna Taylor," and eventually he gets to the point. He's like, "I just see you as a person." And because I don't remember what the lady said. He's like, honey, I just see you as a person. I see you as a human being. And it's like, isn't that what we want? To see other people who are different from us as just being people?
Yeah.
Well, not only
Apparently
that,
not.
I mean, this culture here, what we're seeing here is someone trying to promote the idea of not having onus or anyone's personal agency to act and to explore and to develop. I mean, that's a foundation of life, and the excitement of life is finding out new things about what you're capable of doing and overcoming challenges. I mean, the concept of a reward is that it's difficult to achieve. That's why it's so rewarding. So
Yeah. All right, I got a couple of super chats I got to get real quick. So we have Imperial Lupia for $5. If the activists aren't careful about their fabrication of problems, they will run into an area that doesn't speak social justice but does speak 556. I think we're already running into some situations like that. Culture Casino for $2 would like to point out candy corn is racist trash.
You're a bigot, Culture. You're a bigot, Culture Casino.
And then we have Sporky News Podcast for $5. Glad I was up to watch your racist mansplaining this article for me. You're welcome, Scott. Anytime. Oh my god, that was fucking funny.
this is going to be one heck of a weird week on his shows coming up.
Yes.
The cheery cartoon-like illustrations, an array of children from a variety of cultures won't keep babies and toddlers, the typical age for board books, engaged as you try to explain terms such as policies, confession, cultural blocks, or even opening line, anti-racist baby is bred, not born.
How the hell does that work?
Because everybody's born racist.
That's Cloud World.
He's basically equating racism to genetic memory.
Yes.
Well, dude, that's what they're doing with what they're talking about their pain or their oppression is genetic. I mean, God, I'm trying to think what these activists scream is like. They're screaming about their pain. It's like what their cultural pain or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Their cultural pain probably doesn't exist in China. So see ya.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is like, you can say that your cultural pain is taught just like racism. And Toxic Man Flu for $2. Candy corn lives matter.
Hail, toxic. Hail, brother. That's right.
Wait, candy corn's a living being, and you're promoting to eat it?
That's why there's the candy corn genocide. Happens every October 31st.
It's all year round. It's all year round comics. Don't forget about Cupid corn and reindeer corn and freedom corn. Okay, freedom corn. Candy.
Isn't that just normal corn?
Is patriotic.
Like from the cob.
Nobody is born racist. I agree. It is something taught, not inherited. But that's not what these people would have you believe, my friend.
Right. Yeah, because you know what I suspect? I suspect they're conflating the fear or surprise of seeing something new as racism, especially for a child when they see someone of a different ethnicity for the first time. It's not really a cowering thing, but it's just kind of like a puzzlement. Because
well, here's the thing too. All right, you know how you defeat racism? You grow up in a multicultural society, okay?
Pretty much.
Because when you see these people, when you see people that don't look like you on a daily basis, you accept that as being normal, okay? And that's what we were fucking taught growing up.
Yes,
that's what I was taught growing up.
Yes,
it was the kumbaya. We're all one group of people, which is true. That's what we are. We're all one group of people. We just look different because we have different origins on this planet. And I don't want to talk about get into the whole thing with evolution and whatnot and all this different stuff. But humans are very adaptable creatures, and we adapt to our environment. So the closer to the equator you get, the darker your skin's going to be because it protects you from the sun, and you don't fucking die of skin cancer.
Yeah, dig it.
Yeah.
Also,
the farther away from the equator, there's a lot more clouds. You tend to be whiter because you won't die of vitamin D deficiency.
Right.
Yeah.
It's and maybe depending on where you are in the world and where you evolved, gives you an advantage in certain situations or certain sports or certain whatever. I mean, it's just we are a very eclectic group. We're very different. There's nothing wrong with that. We said that should be celebrated. But people like this would have you believe that depending on where you were born, depending on your lottery of birth, depends on whether or not you are going to be a racist definitively.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way out of it. It's such bullshit.
Yeah, it really is. Okay. And yeah, it's like, obviously, there was lots of racism in our history and in our past, but we got over it, right? We realize these things. This is the beauty of our country and human beings in general. We recognize things that are bad, and then we go and change them. Okay. So, all the stuff that we've talked about, all these people, all these things that these people are trying to fight, has been dealt with. It doesn't mean we don't have areas to improve on, because of course we do.
Right.
But fucking man, it's not, this is not the 60s.
These are things that began to become confronted in the 19th and 20th centuries. Like a lot of these have already, some of this stuff is just made up gobbledygook, but a lot of the problems that we did have were confronted, and over time change happened. Because human beings are basically good people. At least that's what I believe. And this is just coming from the middle children of history, man. These are just people that want to create division and segregation.
And profit from it. Because look at all the stuff that this guy has written about. Okay, he is profiting off of pushing racist narratives. If everything is racist, I can call out these things and make money off it. It's the Robin DiAngelo bullshit.
The Anita Sarkeesian economic plan. Yep.
And on top of that, too, it's like there are legit problems to address in the world, but they're too difficult. So it's better to make up something that you can solve overnight with a number of books. Did you ever watch the narrative to justify your existence?
Did you ever watch the MTV Decoded stuff with what's her name, Francesca Ramsey?
No, I can't say I have.
No, okay. Oh God, they're fucking priceless, man. You have to check them out because the arguments she makes are just like ludicrous. It's like, again, typically whenever they go for these arguments of saying everything is racist, they have to reach really far in the past to find stuff. My favorite was when she was talking about Portland or Oregon, because Oregon literally is the whitest state in the United States. Okay. It's really fucking white there. it is.
Is it like me white there?
Yeah, it is like you white there. 1% of the population, I think, is like minority. That's
nothing. I came from a town where 0.8% of the population was a minority, and when I left, it was 0.2%.
Dang.
It was because you left. But anyway. But no, it's serious. I mean, it really is, and it was in like the founding of Portland. Yeah, it's like they created Portland as a city to be like a white utopia. I mean, this is all historical stuff. It's pretty funny. But they talk about how super ultra progressive Oregon is racist because of that shit that happened like in the 1800s. Yeah. Hashtag Portland so white. That's the reason why all the people writing on behalf of Black Lives Matter are white. But yeah, it's like fucking crazy shit, man. And my favorite is not you have a group that wants to start their own black nation or I guess nation state within the United States. I know that they're trying
like
to
a sovereign state within the United States.
yeah,
Sovereign
and
nation,
it's like just remember what happened to those white separatists back in the 90s. That's all I gotta say.
What are they going to do? Like something like Black Quebec in the U.S. Because Quebec's like a sovereign province type of thing, even though it's still part of Canada. It's a silly situation.
Yeah,
and the last thing I think the United States needs to do is emulate Quebec in any way.
No, but I want to say this is happening in Georgia. They want to found a city called Freedom that is black only, except white people can apply to live there.
What?
Yeah.
Go ahead, you don't do that in Georgia because it doesn't have a good ring to it. Freedom, Georgia? No. Freedom, Cincinnati. That's more where you...
Okay, Colster looks like he's getting ready to explode.
He's going to have a conniption.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so illegal. You can't even understand how many different federal laws that breaks. It is ridiculous. I'm like, okay, wait. Okay, so essentially, HUD is going to shut that down. Every single lending law will shut that down. Entire charters for city governments will shut that down. Not to mention the state government will shut that down. You cannot do it. That is, you cannot be overtly or even covertly.
Oh, well, here's the deal, my friend. This is 2020. You know, racism against white people is okay.
Yeah, and if you've got an establishment that is completely fine with equity, and that has people and in departments who have shamed their ways into employment so they can fabricate institutional ists and isms, that is completely plausible.
No. Because see, here's the thing. The minute that this thing happens, you will see all of the stuff that we got rid of prior to the 60s that the Southern Democrat bloc was trying to hang on to until 1964 with their, so you're going to see you're going to see that stuff return. The minute that this happens, it's going to create so much disparity that we've completely eliminated in this country. They have no idea.
Well, yeah, that's the thing that's going to backfire is that all these racists are going to come out of the woodwork where they're hiding. Well, and they're going to start saying, "Oh, we can do this too now. Let's bring back segregation."
There will be an opportunity for business owners to not serve people. I mean, you are opening a floodgate of problems.
Well, you heard about what's happening in California, right?
Oh no, I know, and I really hope that. Oh, dude,
what now?
Yeah.
Well, okay, they're basically voting to repeal the Civil Rights Act in California. But they're doing it under the guise it's the shit, I'm totally blanking on it. Affirmative action. It's like it has affirmative action in the name, but what they're doing is they're rolling back the Civil Rights Amendment in California.
The one that they ratified?
Yeah, the one. Yeah, the one that they basically said it's going on the ballot, so it's gonna go. It
isn't gonna matter. This is true. I mean, it'll march up to the Supreme Court. There'll be a cease and desist from the federal level. It'll go up to the Supreme Court. They'll say you can't do this. This is a ratified amendment to the Constitution, and you as a singular state can't amend the Constitution. You have to abide by the law of the land. So I know that this is hard to understand, especially for those on the far left, the alt left. Let's call them what they are. The alt left, the folks over there, they need to understand we have laws in this country. Everybody has to abide by them. And, we have law and order, which is something that they don't actually want to say out loud to other people. And so we're in a position right now where if this happens, they will come under federal scrutiny. They will put themselves at risk of eliminating the opportunity to collect federal dollars, which means any taxes that go to the federal level may not come back into the programs that are the rest of the country helps fund for California. So it's going to be, they're opening them. I mean, they take highway dollars away from states that don't enforce whatever national speed limit they want to have. Well, this is far more reaching if you're going to go after this particular sacred cow.
I don't know, man. They're gonna try it, and they'll screech and yell and cry and whatnot.
Hey, the minute some famous politician or actor's kid comes, I'm just gonna say, because they just passed the recent, it's okay to be a pedophile law, at least for
yeah.
So the minute that comes, the minute that somebody's famous celebrity kid, famous politician kid that gets diddled by somebody and doesn't get put on the list, then you're going to hear about that 3 ways to Sunday, right? But until then, I mean, it's open season in California, so which is makes me disgusted. Which is why we have cuties.
Yep. Culture Casino for $5. Steven has a book coming out. Kai MFS has a book on Amazon. Fatal J has a graphic novel or graphic book coming out. Drunk 3PO has a book. Does he really?
Yes, he does.
Oh, and I have great hair.
Thank you very much, Culture Casino. And yes, all these wonderful creators do have projects. I think there's even more projects coming out. Mirrorsphere Origins, I think, is working on one right now, too. Got a lot of great people in the independent community that are creating. You know what? If these people want to take over our modern mythologies and turn them into garbage and propaganda and platform division and hate, well, then screw them. Let's create our own universes. So hail to Kai. Got a great book. I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to see Drunk 3PO's book, another great unifier in our community who has traveled the world helping people for decades now. He doesn't like to talk about it, but he is a great person in this community, and he's got a book, a collection of stories, I think, that has to do with some of the travels that he went on. And I can't wait to see that. Fatal J, Ninja, God damn it. I can't, Ninja Blast.
Ninja Blast.
Fatal J's Ninja Blast. I mean, a comic book creator in the Fandom Menace, working with Comicsgate. God bless. Thank you guys for supporting all of us, and please go check out those wonderful works. Hail the Fandom Menace.
All right, Imperial Appeal for $5. Not to get too personal, but I moved to the U.S. in the early 2000s. The most amount of racist talk I've ever heard since happened in the last 5 years.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got scared. I'm sorry. Who was that? Who was that?
Imperial.
Imperial. And thank you for coming to the country. Thank you for adding thank you to adding to the melting pot and coming here, brother. And yes, what happened was, in my opinion, after 9/11, everybody in this country got scared. There was a common enemy, which does tend to unify people. And no matter the source, everyone in the country kind of stopped for a minute and said, yeah, you know what? We're in this thing together. And I think that people, very rich people, got intimidated by this. And I also believe they took advantage of hateful people that exist, that live in fear in our society, that want to make money off of their hatred, took advantage of this and began promoting division. And that's how I see it. I think it's very disingenuous, and it's something that we need to stand together from all backgrounds, all walks of life, no matter what language you speak, no matter what gods you worship. We all need to stand together and fight this garbage. Hail to you, Imperial. Thank you for the super chat.
That's ultimately the thing, too. What really divides us is culture. That is really what divides human beings.
Yeah, culture, subculture.
I do not divide anybody. I bring everybody together.
He hates candy corn.
No, but it's true that is the ultimate thing that makes us oppose one another is our culture and obviously our ideologies as well. It's the reason why if you study human history, it's the reason why all these countries in Europe fought one another. Part of it was about expansion, but also you had a lot of people getting wiped out in the Middle Ages because they had the wrong beliefs.
Oh yeah, you can see it even in Ireland. It's two countries. It's Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. It's not just Ireland.
I was gonna bring up the Protestant Reformation is a really good example of that. The Cathar Crusade is another one. You've had all sorts of things that happened because of. I mean, it was done in the name of religion, but it was also a very much a cultural thing. I mean, you know, culture and religion is power, and you know, the Middle Ages, the church obviously wielded a lot of power.
Well, religion
I think
was
the institutional aspect of religion is what hurt religion in its value.
That is very true.
Yes, and religion, when religion has power over the state, then it's, you know, I think it's corrupted, and that has been the traditional vehicle for at least the last 1,000 or so years in unifying a community. But now the new religion is social justice, and I think we'd like to stop history from repeating itself. I don't want to see that type of ideology take over our secular constitution, our laws, our ability to mandate and maintain equality for all. I'd like to not see that happen again.
Oh my God, that's a scary thought. A secular theocracy.
Yes.
It could happen. And the other part too, and it's something that is going to be the hardest hurdle for any society to overcome, is a proper way of displacing one's personal beliefs when they're actually becoming a representative, because the whole idea of separation of church and state is actually quite valuable, but it's also really hard to maintain if you have deeply religious people running for office, but they can't divorce themselves of the responsibility to their religion and to the office that they hold, because obviously they're going to inform and complement each other. But you also have to take a look at those that you represent that aren't of your religion and consider their own ideology, their beliefs as well as to be responsible for the office you hold. And that's going to be the hardest thing for any culture to do. And I don't think it's going to ever really get to that point, because you're always going to have that tug of war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm going to get Jeffrey Turner for $2. Star Wars inspired my Blue Shogun, hoping to finish it by 11/28. Well, good luck, sir. Hope you get done soon.
Yeah, good luck on that. It's always good to set a date for completion, because if you
gotta have goals, man.
Well, at least you can reallocate how far it's going to go.
Well, that's the thing I think a lot of people don't understand, is that you got to set dates for yourself. You got to set due dates, because if you don't, you're just going to put it off. I'm working on it. So you got to set these little goals to push yourself to getting things done. I think it's something that a lot of people don't get. I am a terrible procrastinator. I really am. It's part of the reasons why you don't get as much content out of me, and also because there's just times where I just don't know what to talk about, or I just don't have something I want to talk about.
Mega Jetty, when you get close to launching that campaign, reach out to me, dude. I will help you. I will do whatever I can to promote you.
But that's one thing I want to do, is I want to get a scrum board together to where it's like, if I have an idea for something I want to talk about, I can throw it on the board and I can make a video about it. So part of my issue is organization. You know, occasionally I'll stumble across something and it's like, oh, I make a video about that. But it's like the whole thing, like with Terminator, it's like I want to get my top 5, you know, horror movies, you know, reviewed this month, and of course I'm quickly running out of time. Mainly because I have other stuff going on in the background, because I'm doing a project for a friend of mine and they're wanting something delivered soon. So it's like I'm taking my focus off of YouTube to get this shit done. So once that's done, that kind of frees the slate to get content rolling again. But I ran into that article, which was my last video, where I talked about the James Cameron making Terminator and all these things the guy said back in 1984 that apparently nobody gives a shit anymore about when it comes to filmmaking. And it's pretty apparent that he doesn't give a shit about it either. It's like, because he became a part of the studio system. Trello, I own a license for Jira, so I just need to set it up and get it going again. I really like Jira. I'm a big fan of Atlassian.
I have no idea what any of that meant.
Atlassian is a software company. Jira is a software scrum board. It's all technology stuff.
I should know this stuff. I work in IT. God, I'm an idiot.
Really? I'm surprised you have not heard of Jira at this point.
No, I haven't. Well, I'm on the hardware side. I'm not the programmer.
Well, even then, I mean, you can use it for multiple different things. But yeah, it's typically done with software.
Yeah, or Slack or something like that. Yeah. You know, I have a great producer, and the boss. The boss makes sure I stay on point, because otherwise I'd be like printing 3D models of like miniatures.
My wife's like, you spend way too much time with your YouTube friends.
You guys are my friends.
Okay, so I was actually thinking about doing a watch party, and it's like now I'm becoming a boomer because I'm not really sure how people do these watch party things.
What?
Well, I'm assuming they do a live stream and they just don't show the movie, and everyone watches like.
No. Yeah, you watch along. There's streaming like plugins for like Chrome and stuff. You can do them like I have one actually. Hang on, let me pull up my.
I should probably ping Odin because I know he does the watch party stuff. But
yeah, it's really easy to do. Yeah, I have what do I've got? I've got
Tox. Jira sucks. Cancel productivity. I don't know, man. I like it. I suppose there's maybe better things out there. I've worked with worse tools than Jira. I like Jira. That's not it. Yeah, didn't come across. Damn it. Oh, there it is. Do a watch party of how candy corn is made.
Well, that would be quite horrific, I imagine.
It'd be beautiful. It'd be.
But yeah, I was wanting to do like a watch party for like each of the 5 movies I want to talk about.
I've never done a watch party, so I don't have any information on that.
Yeah, I should probably ask Odin. I should probably do that quick before the the bun comes out of the oven.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
what he's making another pizza, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Perry Chan, that was so great. The video.
Oh God, that was
so good. Oh, I love that guy. Yeah, when does Odin's Baby due?
Pretty soon. I think this is going to be his last Friday Night Tights for a while. I don't think we're going to finish this article.
It's nuts.
This book is dumb.
Guys,
to the point of the guy who wrote the article about like the whole thing of that, all these things are not like things that babies can comprehend. You might as well just like scream at them. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, you used to be able to hear that in the park all the time when we didn't have the lockdown.
When's it going to be over? Comics. When is all this going to be over?
2023.
Yeah,
most likely.
No, I think.
I mean, there'll definitely be a shift after November 3rd, but yeah, most likely 20.
Well, I'm wondering, is this because, of course, the entire idea of this is to leave enough of an imprint to ingrain itself into every aspect of our culture, of our overall culture.
Yeah, well, it's a hostile takeover of our cultural and political and educational institutions. So that's kind of what
to make people dumber.
Well, it's a control, dude. I mean, again, I'm not trying to shit on people's religious beliefs, but religious institutions are a means of controlling people. All right,
it's the institution aspect, yeah. Primarily.
Institution aspect, like I said, it's like I try and tread very lightly with religion, because it's like I know that I have people that watch my content that are religious, and just because I don't follow your belief doesn't mean I don't respect it. And vice versa. So it's like I have a lot of respect, for Father Christopher Miller, and I'm not going to crap on Catholicism. There's certain issues with Catholicism I have, but that goes back to that goes back to the big three. I have problems with people telling me how to live my life. Okay. I know what's best for me.
They're technically self-appointed. That's the other part too. They're not like always a trusted friend or something. You're like, I've been kicked out of 2 religions just because I was asking questions. So,
yeah.
Like it's the institutional aspect of it. But I have like lots of friends that are deeply religious and some that are very much atheists, and we all cohabitate properly and without much issue, because it's the benefit to each other.
Yeah.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that mentality, because it's when you see people that are saying, my faith gives me the right to judge others.
Yeah, that's kind of that's the issue I've always had with religion, and in any form, right? It's not just Christianity. Well, I think part of the issue too is it's become so institutionalizedly acceptable to crap on Christianity that when another religion gets criticized, they immediately run with the fact that, you're anti-Semitic, you're a Islamophobe.
comics. I'm living in clown world. All right. 20 years ago, if somebody came down because of the position that I was in and my perspective in life and who I am, I endured a level of religious bigotry. And so,
pagans definitely got it. You know, we were called Satanists because of the pentagram.
Right. And so, 20 years ago, if you had told me that today I would be feeling bad for Christians in this country, I would have said, you're absolutely insane. That is never going to happen. But at this moment, and this is the importance of learning from our history, at this moment, there is an accepted bigotry against Christianity in this country. Judeo-Christian values are one of the foundational pillars of Western society. And I do not want to see another religion go through what my ancestors went through and what others in the world right now go through because they believe in a different God. I don't want to see that again. So I stand shoulder to shoulder with my Christian brethren and sisters who feel just like any other person, whether no matter what faith you are, as long as you come to a point where you say, that is my brother or my sister under God. That is my, and as for an atheist, that is a fellow human being. However you decide to put it, as long as you hold that core value, I'm with you. I don't care how you pray, where you pray, or what you do and harm none. Do as thou will.
Yep. Sorry, Culture, you're going to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of things. But Steven's eloquent and stuff. But no, look, he's right. But right now in New York, I mean, my Jewish friends are being persecuted by the governor and the mayor there.
Yeah,
not allowing them to practice their faith in a way that I find deeply uncomfortable. I think if you have faith, you should be allowed to practice it to the extent that you aren't creating hazards for others.
Yeah, as long as you're not hurting anyone. I don't fucking care if you worship a head of lettuce.
Yeah, and the second thing, when you started talking about institutionalized stuff, the only thing that's institutionalized right now is this SJW philosophy that's being taught in our educational institutions. That's the true meaning of institutionalized. Right now, we have a whole couple of generations of children now that have been taught a whole lot of malarkey that doesn't line up with the way the world works or it could even be in their best interest. So and that is and I think we've already said it. That's the new religion in this country is the SJW set,
Yeah, it's catching on faster than Scientology.
Yeah. And growth is financial. It's not in numbers. But
so Robert is saying that don't pagans have the pentagram pointed up while the Satanists have the pentagram pointed down? Yes.
All right. And, that's kind of a multifaceted question, actually, because I can have reverence for what you would call an inverted pentacle, depending on if I'm drawing something down or I'm trying to banish or get rid of negativity, then I would use that. But normally it is what you would consider right side up, because it does mean the 5 elements encompassed by the universe.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too, I've always heard it was like the idea of it's the idea that you see a man that's outreached like that looking up towards the heavens, and the reason why it's inverted with the Satanists is because they're looking down towards the earth. So it's more of a focus on earthly matters, whereas with paganism, you're focused more on spiritual matters. That's what I've heard. So.
Well said, comics.
I'm a little out of practice. It's the reason why I say I'm apatheist, because I am an apatheist. But basically, what apatheist means is you just don't care.
I might be in that house.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I got that from Bill Maher. It's like, I get that. It's like I don't care what you believe or what you worship, and it's not that I don't believe in God. I don't care. I've gotten to the point where I don't care, and that's just me. Okay, that's just me. $5. Talk to me for $5. Stop telling me what to do. Just get your Kara nose out of my business. I agree. Absolutely agree. Imperial Lupia for $5. To be fair, the self-righteousness can come from a scientific institution. Oh, I agree with you. Not just a church.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. The flaw in people with authority, in my opinion. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I really do. Because it stops speaking about science and about. I'm trying to think of what the word they use for it. It's not so much science worship.
It's a conflation of theory and fact, because that's the one thing a scientist will tell you is that, hey, we have this theory, and so far the facts support it. But until we find something else that changes that, it's still just a theory. And some other scientists that are not necessarily as good will conflate that and say, no, it's a fact. It's a fact that nothing travels faster than the speed of light. No, it's a theory because we have yet to observe anything that travels faster than the speed of light. And that's the philosophy that you have to go into as a scientist that keeps you relatively objective and also constantly observing, because that's the rule. But once you start trying to do what the super chat was suggesting, is like saying, no, it's this and nothing else, that's when you're not actually being a scientist. You're just propagating your own personal.
Yes, and it's also protecting
based on.
It's also about protecting your own research, protecting the research that your research is built upon, the past, the past theories of other scientists. And if any of that is disproven, then all of your work, what you have worked for how many years or decades or your entire life, crumbles into dust. And so a lot of people are very arrogant, and their egos won't let go of certain ideas and won't allow for the acceptance of new data to change the theories or dispute what would be considered fact.
Well, this is very interesting that Counters 074 is bringing up for $5. Replacing worship of God or spirit for worship of a state. Now where the heck have I heard that one before? Hammer and sickle anyone? Absolutely, dude. I mean, that's the thing is like, that's the reason why in communism they want to get rid of religion, because at that point the state literally is God.
Well, it's the replacement of it. Yeah.
And that's
China's the perfect example of that. In fact, that's why there are, hundreds of thousands of Uyghurs and other practicing people practicing faiths that are imprisoned. Is that the right term? In re-education camps. All of those things don't sound good.
No, they don't.
I want to give a shout out to Comics Division chat. There are some intelligent conversations going on in comments. Thank you guys so much for being a part of it.
And that's the big thing too. It's like, we can recognize our differences, and we're not always going to agree, but we can respect where one another is coming from. It's like I get probably the majority of the people who watch my content are Christian, and it's like I don't have an issue with that. It's like I'm not going to belittle someone's religion. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to disagree on stuff, because we will. And that's fine. But as long as we approach it from a place of respect, then, we'll be cool. Because, I've had very religious people in my family. It's like, my family is more conservative. I'm probably the most liberal person in my family. But, it's.
I was brought up Methodist. I mean, it's, to my core, the values that that was imparted to me came from Sunday school, came from the Pastor Bob, wonderful person that helped send me to camp when I was a kid to go to a Christian camp. My family couldn't afford it, and he sent me out there. God bless him. And all of my family members who are still ardent supporters of the different denominations of the Christian church. Love you guys. I have no problem with you guys. I'm glad you're not killing my people anymore. Good. We're on a good track. We're on a good track.
Toxic Manflu for $2. What if the Red Scare was real?
I mean, it's becoming real. I think.
Well, it's like a 100-year plan. I think. I mean, I always like to speculate that for all the changes in government that the United States has done, Russia said, "Hold my beer," and decided to do it in the most creepiest and subversive way, to the point where you don't realize it's happening until it's too late.
Yeah. I think really the big thing that I think we forget about is that I really like how Jeff always ends his videos with "be excellent" to each other, because I think that's a message that we get really bogged down in this bullshit, like what we've talked about. And I know I've talked with several people about this, like, how do we you just can't look at people as being a lost cause, even if they're an idiot on Twitter. And God knows I'm just as guilty with the negativity. I just told Mark Ruffalo to go fuck himself today on Twitter because of that stupid thing. But it's like, but he doesn't count. He's not a person. He's a celebrity. He's not human.
He's pretending to be a person, just like Brie Larson.
But seriously, it's like the main thing is we have to understand when engaging other people, with the exception of celebrities because they're fucking morons. they're adult pretenders, is that we need to treat people like they're people.
Right.
I think that's one of the biggest issues that when it comes to what leads to the terrible events that happen in Germany in the 1930s and 1940s is this attitude that we stop looking at people as being people. And that's the thing that I fear so much coming from the left right now is that, you know, the way they try and label people as being alt-right Yahtzees all the time. It's like you're trying to unperson them to justify violence against them. And
it's like a living death as opposed to a literal death.
Yeah, we are seeing this right now play out in democratic cities across the United States as people are protesting and ultimately escalating to rioting and trying to burn down buildings and whatnot. And just, you know,
look at the institutions they're attacking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clear. You know, they're attacking family, they're attacking religion, they're attacking law and order.
Yeah.
That's what they're attacking. If you have any doubts about who these people are and what they represent.
Well, it's the reason why they're calling everything white supremacy now. You know, is because if you can get people, your average everyday citizen, to buy into, you know what, the United States government or United States as a country is founded on white supremacy, we got to tear it down. That is their ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm. And that's why, and that's the point at which they've already undermined what they were trying to do. Honestly, they've overplayed their hand. The uprising is going to come, if not at the ballot box, then shortly thereafter. I don't think these people understand the leather that they're biting into. You know. Yeah. This country
as much as I joke about it, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna tell Mark Ruffalo to go fuck himself because I think he's an idiot, but I still see him as a human being. You know, right. I don't want harm to come to the guy.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's an out of touch celebrity that has no fucking clue what it means to be human anymore.
Yeah, but I'd like to see him learn, become enlightened. Yeah. You know, I'm sorry.
Well, just understand the point is like I was telling Tom, it's like I understand, I can understand why people don't like Trump and will vote for Biden and vice versa. I can understand why people want to vote for Hillary Clinton. I also understand why people want to vote for Trump. You know,
yeah,
because you gotta see it from both sides.
Yeah,
yeah, and just because somebody supports something that you disagree with doesn't necessarily make them a bad person,
right?
Unless they're going out fucking murdering people, that's totally different.
The least divisive candidate on the left side, at least right now, would it for what the traditional platform would have been Tulsi Gabbard, right?
Tulsi, yeah,
she'd have been the most likely to represent what the platform was, right? There has not been anybody on the right that has excelled in any way, at least not in my observation. Again, I have no pony in this show, so it doesn't matter. But it's just so I look at it from that perspective. I go, okay, I'm going to step back because that's what I do with everything. I'm going to step back. I'm going to look at this from the top down, and I'm going to say, you guys didn't pick a good candidate, and Trump is the candidate that everybody else deserved. You know, so I don't know what I don't know what you're going to do about that. I mean, you have a very caustic person who's incredibly effective. That can't be argued. And then on the other side, you have somebody who I have questions about their mental aptitude, and somebody who I question how they got as far in politics as they,
and who has a bona fide history of making racist and sexist statements, like everything that the left is saying we want to get rid of. But that's fine.
Let's nominate that guy.
Let's nominate that guy.
But I always wanted, like I said, I mean, I like to emulate Jeff. One of the people that I looked at when I was getting ready to get the channel together, of course, was world class, right? Because Jeff's a class act, Gary's a class act, Comics a class act. I mean, dude, I've been watching you for a long time.
Really?
So, yeah, it's still bad. Yeah, and again, I've had other accounts. So the boss and I've been watching everybody for a long time.
That's so weird, dude. I mean, it's like.
Yeah, I watch a lot of people from like the beginning, like Ryan. Like going way back.
Yeah,
so
it's so weird because I started my channel, obviously by the title, Comics Division. I was talking about comics primarily, and I have my little bit. where I'd use a funny accent and I'd make fun of bad comic books.
Old-timey news guy, yeah.
Yeah, old-timey news guy. Yeah, so it's just funny. And a lot of it too is like I understand why other people got bit because it's a bit, and if a lot of people, I can see why people get turned off by the joke, which ultimately has led my channel to evolve over the years I've had it to here I am in person. It's all weird.
That's the thing. I was there for your face reveal, but anyway. So the thing is when I decided when I finished my videos, I would do it similar to what Jeff did because I truly believe that I wanted to connect with everybody, and I still do. I want to connect with everybody, even if you don't agree with me. I want to have that connection, and so I always say, take care of yourself, take care of others.
Well, I think the one thing I don't like about what I'm doing recently is I feel like I've become way too serious. That was the thing I liked about having the cartoon avatar is like I could be silly and people get it.
Yeah.
And part of the silliness was the apathy aspect of it. Like, whenever I crack a joke about, it's like semi-joking, semi-serious about I'm glad I'm 46 because means I'm closer to dying. It's like it's a joke, but it's true. Because God forbid if the SJWs win, that's not a world I want to live in. So I'm glad I'm closer to the end of my life.
Yeah, but it's also
you had a good run. Run.
But I also think I was talking about this earlier on my live stream. I think it's a responsibility for those of us. And I don't think it's one that we really should have had to take on, but I think it's a responsibility of those of us that have lived through the last couple of decades and seen the change and listened to our parents and their generation and the change that went through and that we continued on. And through the 2000s when things were relatively good. All right. The last time there was a lot of talk about white supremacists, they were getting shut down in the 90s.
Yeah, dude.
We watched that.
Yeah, that was like the biggest thing is everybody fucking hated the skinheads in the 90s. Everyone made fun of the skinheads. If you're involved in counterculture scenes in the 90s, you knew skinheads. Okay, I've known several skinheads, former neo-Nazi skinheads. And again, it's like it goes back to the whole thing of redemption, right? A friend of mine told me the story that of this neo-Nazi skin. That he knew. It wasn't a friend of his. It was just some guy he knew. Talking about how he was going on a date with this Asian chick. He was going to bang her and that was it. Well, the dude went out on this date and fell in love with this chick.
Yeah,
and stopped being a neo-Nazi. It's like you don't hear about that shit anymore. It doesn't happen anymore because of the shit that we're going through right now. Because this idea that you can't have redemption anymore. You're a piece of shit. Alt-right Yahtzee.
Yeah.
Well, they need an overarching boogeyman that they can associate to everything and then point to and say that's the problem. And validate people's fears. Like we are creatures, we are not all created equal. We are all different. And so some of us need a little more help, a little more of a helping hand, a little more direction. Some of us are just born depressed, some of us are born angry, and we need, those. And you need the people around you to help get you through your situation in life. And when you create this kind of division and you feed into people who are naturally fearful or naturally angry, and you go, hey, the reason you feel like this is because of that boogeyman over there. Then you associate that boogeyman with everything. That's basically what they're doing. It's all about facilitating false narratives.
Well, the other thing too is like going back to what I was talking about with the skinhead and the Asian girl, it's like nowadays it's like, oh, you're just fetishizing her. It's like what the fuck ever. And another thing too, here's another story I have too, is that a good friend of mine from high school, he's Jewish, and his stepdad was a former Klans member, and so this is another story of this dude who was racist. And the Klan aren't exactly known for their tolerance of Jewish people. I don't remember what led him to leaving the Klan. I don't know if it was her or whatnot. But he had this guy who was a member of the Klan, ended up marrying a Jewish woman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful, and that changed his heart.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Love conquers all.
And this is the
Captain
reason.
Neil sang it just right. Love will bring you together.
This is the reason why I bring these things up, and you have to look at the people you don't like and you disagree with as being people, because it's you have to allow people to, an avenue for redemption, even the SJWs. Even us, we're all flawed individuals. We all make mistakes. We're all going to do stupid shit.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing, is that, eventually, just like I think her name's Carrie Smith, the one who's the former SJW, they're going to come around. You have these conversations and you'll plant a seed.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. Because the more you say they're terrible people, the more they're going to double down. It's like with anybody who is you see as opposition, you attack them, they double down. You have a conversation with them like a person, like a human being, you plant a seed.
I tell this story.
Or you uncover the thing that's true in their nature, which is like the innocence and respect that we have for one another deep down. Like, I mean, when you're born, you have no choice but to trust the parents that are holding you, whether they're biological or not. And from that trust, that's where you realize the value of each other and other people. And it's only through an irresponsibility of your environment would you become bigoted, hateful, and racist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's why it's up to, people to hold on to the value systems that allow us to make friendships across different perspectives and backgrounds.
Absolutely. And that love might not just be for the love of another human being. That might be for the love of a property. One of the reasons why I am the Fandom Menace historian, and I am writing the Fandom Menace volumes. Volume 2 is also available on Indiegogo right now. Please go check it out. Is that for stories like this, my father, I've said the story before, was a racist. My father was a racist when I was growing up. My mother always taught me, don't be a racist. My dad, he was a racist. And that created conflict. And he loves Star Trek. He imparted his love of Star Trek onto me. Somehow he managed to hold on to his racism due to events that happened during the 70s when he was in high school. There's a lot of the strife going on between the races and the experiences that he had. Yeah. But somehow, even though he loved Star Trek, he look at someone like Nichelle Nichols, and he wouldn't see a black woman. He'd see a beautiful woman. He'd see an actress. And by the time it got to his love of Michael Dorn, who played Worf on The Next Generation, he started having problems applying that racism to everything. He started having problems in his thinking process because he loved these characters. He loved these actors, and they were not white. They were black. And through time, because of his love for Star Trek, that changed his heart. My dad's not a racist now. I'm awesome. Proud to say that because of the love that he had for people like Nichelle Nichols, Michael Dorn, and many of the other amazing people that have worked on Star Trek in the past. And that's another reason why I am fighting for our modern mythologies, because things like that, the love for science fiction, for good storytelling, can also bridge those gaps and bring us together and cancel out hate in our hearts.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick, I gotta get through some super chats. And hey, Tree Rock Creations. Sorry, dude. I've been sitting on your email. I need to reply back to you. So I haven't forgotten. I've been kind of busy. So I will reply to you. Even though it's kind of funny because I kind of ragged on him for not replying to me. So, yes, I get it. I'm a dick. Imperial Lupia for $5. That's why they also went after fandom. Fandom was one of the greatest uniting forces we had.
Yes, absolutely. True. It's inclusion. I mean, how many different types of people do you see? All right, for instance, look at people like Abu Nas, right? He was someone who could not show his love for Star Wars in his community because he would have got picked on. It wouldn't have been cool. He wouldn't have been the tough guy that he was. And when he found the Fandom Menace, when he found all of us, all across the fandoms, don't care if you carry a hashtag or not, he was able to express that and find love and find joy in communicating with other people. That is what the fandoms have always been. Right. It doesn't. Okay, the country's been majority white for a long time, and it still has a white majority in it. But just because there's a majority in a fandom doesn't mean it's inclusive. What do you think brings nerds together and geeks together? People in comic book shops, people that play Dungeons and Dragons, people that video games. I mean, gamers themselves. That's why they went after the gamers, because it didn't matter. It got to the point you were playing online and you put on a headset and you can only tell the difference really between a man and a woman. But they had to run with that narrative and try and create this false idea that gamers hate girls. Are you kidding me? Do you know what happens when you put a girl into a circle of geeks or nerds? They go crazy. They become bumbling
First of all,
idiots.
you never want to do that to a girl. Don't ever put her in
right.
a circle of geeks and nerds. And on top of that, you have a great example of that guy, Gamers Love Girls, where Lara Croft Tomb Raider was a massive game and franchise
Bro,
for a very long time.
Metroid, man, that's one of my first favorite video game heroines. That was Samus from Metroid, man. Like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, I don't understand it. Actually, I think a lot of that came from ugly chicks. To be honest with you, just ugly. They weren't getting the attention they wanted, and the video game characters were getting more attention, and they got upset. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Listen, one of the cool things about playing online gaming is that if you go into a group and it's usually a game with a group of guys and you hear that sweet female voice come in, it changes the entire rhythm of that gaming circle. Everybody wants to be the best. You've created competition. The gamers love seeing chicks. Are there a-holes? Yeah, there's always an a-hole in every tribe, everywhere, in every culture. You're always going to have that one idiot that just hates people or hates a gender for whatever reason. But for the most part, this has always been an inclusive community. We never had to say it was inclusive, because when you love something passionately, whether it's Pokemon or whether it's any kind of game or any kind of Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, whatever it is, when you really love something and you find somebody else that loves that same thing, you connect on a level that no one else has with you. And it doesn't matter what gender you are, what race you are, where you come from, what language you speak, because you speak the language of geek. Hail.
All right, let me get through the super chats and then we'll call it a night. Toxic Man Flu for $5. It's about one thing: the courts and our civil liberties. The rest of this crap culture. Nikki Haley.
Yeah, I know that name. I can't think of it offhand. Toxic. I'm sorry.
She's the UN representative, I think, right, or something.
She's
Trump's representative at the United Nations.
I believe so.
Yeah, Nikki Haley. That sounds familiar. Yeah, Jeffrey Turner for $2. I vote independent because enough of Republicans versus Democrats. Yeah, kind of the same way, man.
I understand that. Mm-hmm. Vote for Han Solo.
Yeah.
Or vote for an actual candidate that's running as an independent.
Another great name.
Right.
Boiling Diet Coke for $10. Comics, Toxic Man Flu, and I are swimming to Jamaica. What shark spray do you suggest? I remember you mentioning Bet You Get Off of Me. Is that sold in stores? Salty Army reporting for duty.
Wow. Armed with my bat shark repellent. No.
Yeah.
Well, shark repellent bat spray, and next to your manta ray repellent bat spray.
Thank you, script.
What script said? Boiling Diet Coke for $10. Toxic Man Flu. I'm a little drunk. Words are difficult when needing order. Yes, I am perfectly sober and I have problems with words. Words are hard. Speaking is hard. Okay. There's a couple of things I want to catch. From here we go. Drake is 6. Comics Vision. I hope you're right. Sadly, that rarely happens with Marxist educated folks. Which most SJW activists have been educated Marxists.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You have to try it. That's the thing, is that
it's like Diet Coke.
Well, I think the thing is that by treating them like people and having conversations with them, if they're screaming that you're a Nazi, and you treat them like a person, maybe you plant a seed. I'm not gonna say it's gonna work for everybody, man. It's
maybe you catch them off guard and they actually start to open up a little. Yeah.
But the thing is that you have to try it, right? I don't think anyone's redeemable until the point where they go out and start using violence to propagate their ideology. It's like that one kid that went to that I think it was Dylan Roof, that went into that black church and shot the place up. And the thing is, like, fuck, dude. It's like he started having second thoughts, and it's like he was there. He was almost there, but the guy ended up pulling out his gun and murdering a bunch of people. That's the point where you stop being, I wouldn't say you can't be redeemed. But that's the point where
That's a no return thing, where the sin sticks with you, but you still have the option to be redeemed, but you're never going to be able to live that down.
You've crossed the point of no return at that point.
Yeah.
So but that's the thing, man. It's like the thing that was so sad about it is that he had second thoughts.
Just had to listen to those second thoughts.
Yeah. My roommate's daughter, who's in her early 20s. One time she said to her mother, she goes, I think I'm someone Steve would consider to be an SJW. And I talked to her because she does hold a lot of the SJW talking points, and I explained to her, I said, the difference is we have conversations. You're not trying to cancel me. You're not saying I'm a supremacist or anything because I don't hold those beliefs. So those conversations can absolutely be had. And by the end of a conversation that I have with her, it's agree to disagree, but it never comes to a point of contention. The debate may come to contention, but at the end of it, we're both people, and we're both good people, in my opinion. Well, I think I'm a good person. I think she's a good person. So those conversations can be had. And at the end of the day, aren't we all just trying to lead to enlightenment? So
there's a couple more comments, and then we're going to call it quits. Comics Vision. I was never racist, but as a kid, I dealt with an African kid who was a bully, who was bullying my friend. So I engaged in name calling. I dropped racist card first, and I threw it back. He hit, I told.
That's Jeff. That's crazy. I went to school. I went to a school with an African kid named Pythias. When he first came to the school, he was an African kid. He was cool. We were friends for a whole year. We were cool. And then he started hanging out with certain types who blamed everything on people with my skin tone. And I kid you not, the dude turned into a bully a year later. It really all depends on the people you hang out with and the information that you get and the accepted or the either a tolerated or accepted level of racism and sexism that exists in your culture or society, which is something that we should be fighting.
Yeah. The best way to diffuse aggression is to compliment a person. Well, that's the thing too. I've always heard too, if you ask somebody to do something for you, if somebody doesn't like you, the best way of turning them around is to ask them to do something for you. Hey man, can you do me a favor? Something like that. And then you're indebting yourself to them. And then by doing that kind of level of trust, it makes them to start thinking different about you. It's kind of interesting. Drake is 6. I hope you're right. I hope I'm right too. I like to treat all people with respect and kindness. I do as well. And again, there's times where we're not going to. Some people are kind of deserving of it, but at the end of the day, just because you're being an asshole to somebody doesn't mean you don't see them as a human being.
Maybe something's going on wrong in their life that they need to talk about and they're afraid to.
Damn, Margie. Holy shit. $99.99. Wow, that was very generous of you. And you seriously did not have to do that. I just want to thank you all for continuing to make me smile and lol. Your humor and perspective catches me off guard at times, and I appreciate those thoughts so much. Hail all. Brightest to you. Thumbs up, hearts, kisses. Well, thank you, Margie. That was very, very kind of you.
Thank you.
Seriously, you did not need to do that. But
I'm just glad we can brighten your day.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, that's the thing I find so funny about it. It's like with me and the whole thing with super chats. It's like I don't understand why people do it. And it's like, well, you're entertaining us. So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I look at it as gratuity. Thank you very much, for showing your appreciation.
Yeah. So I just hope that I'm just glad people are getting value out of us, going to the internet and acting like fools. So, yeah. Let's see. Comics Vision, it doesn't always work. Yeah, you're right. It's not going to always work, but like I said, you have to try. I've been on Discord servers talking to people a lot. I spent hours within game, and they end up shunning me because I didn't hold their beliefs. It's going to happen. It's a process, right? Like with anything. Somebody doesn't stop being racist overnight.
No. It's a process.
It's a process. If you, I highly recommend the documentary. I I'm totally blanking on it. Accidental Courtesy. It's the documentary that Daryl Davis did talking about his experiences with the Klan and how he went and talked to these people. And again, I think it's a lot easier when you're in person doing this rather than over the interwebs, like Twitters and Discord, because you're a nameless, faceless person on the internet. It's a lot easier to treat somebody shittier when you can't see their face.
Yes.
And you're not standing in front of them. It's like it's the whole keyboard warrior syndrome. It's there's that video of two dogs that are ferociously barking at one another on their opposite sides of a gate, and then the gate starts opening up, and they're like we're going to walk away now. Bark.
It's like being an impressionable young gamer playing Halo 2 and getting teabagged by someone who can't see your face.
So I think it's a lot easier to obviously make that human connection when you're actually right in front of them. So
right.
I get. Obviously, you're not going to be able to reach everybody. It's just that's just life, unfortunately. But like I said, Accidental Courtesy, great documentary. It's so worth the $20. It's definitely one of those things that if you're feeling hopeless and you're like the world's a piece of shit, watch the documentary. It will lift you up.
Daryl Davis will always lift you up.
Yeah,
and find any of his music. He is an amazing pianist.
Yeah,
piano player, but pianist is the proper term.
Yeah, yes, we get that. So, but yeah, it's like I get it. Especially when we know that there's bullshit out there. We know that people are, trying to influence our culture, but we're trying to influence our culture too by pushing back. And the main thing is making sure that we counter bad ideas with good ideas. And that's the reason why they try and shut down free speech, is because they don't want their narrative to be countered. So, and that's the reason why all these people get banned from Twitter and whatnot and all that fun crap. So anyway, that is definitely something I should do for the watch party.
That'd be a great movie for it.
Yeah, totally, Perry. I think that's a good idea. Watch party, that documentary, for sure. As soon as I figure out how to fucking do it. Clever ties for $2. Great stream, great panel, sir. Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank all of you for showing up. I know that we do these streams rather late, and here it is. It's almost 2:30 in the morning my time. For all of you, all 86 of you guys, guys and gals, Z's and Zers that are hanging out with us tonight. Thank you. Thank you for spending your time with us. We got to call it quits. I have to go to bed. I have work. And then, of course, Friday Night Tights. And I have to still be functional for both. So,
well, we just got something from Toxic Man Flu.
All right. We'll get Tox's comments real quick. Toxic Man Flu for $5. Watching the stream makes me realize that no matter how bad my life gets, there are always people out there who can't live down coffee enema jokes. How dare you? Since he's on the screen.
Are we doing our outros?
Yeah, we're doing our outros. Then we'll get Margie's last super chat.
Thank you guys very much for showing up tonight. It still amazes me that people want to show up and hear me talk, but I'm Comics Division, and so I've been showing up to hear him talk for a long time, and I thank you guys for being here. Please check out all the different independent creators that we have in this wonderful community. Whoever your favorite YouTuber is, I know there's so many of us, and there's so many that you might follow. Pick one or two and share out their videos and their links, because that really does help. We don't have an industry to support us. We only have you. The Phantom Menace Volume 2, Rise of the Rebellion, is now on sale on Indiegogo. Please go check that out. Putting a lot of work into that book. Have been. I just want to honor our community, fight the culture war, and save or protect our modern mythologies. I am author Stephen Walton, the Phantom Menace historian, your historian, born in the chats of the High Council with my brothers and sisters, fighting for our modern mythologies. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Be good to each other. Peace.
I love the fact that you can get that outro every time without fucking it up.
Oh, I did in the beginning. I'm so used to saying it now. It's ingrained into my brain now.
That's good. I will fuck it up if it was me. Next, we have the whitest man on YouTube, the Script Doctor.
Good morning, everybody, because it is morning for me.
It's morning for me too, technically.
Thanks so much for having me on again. I'm glad I was able to make this show, and I'm surprised I was able to stay awake for it because it's like 3:30 my time right now.
You poor bastard.
Awesome conversation with everyone. Please subscribe to everyone on this panel if you haven't already, and expect my season finale of the Lower Decks review probably Saturday or Sunday on my channel at youtube.com/scriptdoctor. And feel free to follow me on Twitter at scriptdoctorphd to find out where I'll be streaming, because I usually tweet those out and retweet them. And yeah, thanks again so much for having me tonight.
As always, man, you're welcome. And last but not least, we have Culture Casino, the man with the sexiest hair in the Phantom Menace.
Hey guys, I am Culture Casino. I have a small YouTube channel. I like to do videos that focus on entertainment from a business side of things. Tomorrow I have a live show, or today actually, because good morning everyone. Today I have a live show that's middle of the day for most people, 11 PST. 2 or 3 if you're on the I don't know how to do that math. I don't even care. Anyway, show up. It's great. I try to predict what the FNT guys are going to do, what you're going to hear from the Dump, what you're going to hear from Friday Night Frolics, amongst other shows that happen throughout the weekend. I'm getting good. I'm getting good at doing this. This is the 4th show. I'm really close. So check it out and say, what's the harm? I mean, you're here and you've enjoyed everything else that we've done. So, but I appreciate each and every one of you that are already subscribed and everybody who checks out my videos on a regular basis. And if you haven't, please consider it. Otherwise, subscribe to Script because he's friggin' brilliant, and check out Steven's next book because it might be good. I don't know, maybe.
It might be good. I have my Phantom Menace book around here somewhere. I got it like a couple weeks ago. Of course, Steven's muted, so he can't.
I was muted because I was changing because Culture loves candy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. Please let me know when you've read through it. Let me know what you think.
I need to start reading things again. It's like I'm stuck in comics behind me.
If you're not a reader, there is an audio book for the Phantom Menace Volume 1.
That's right. I need to pick that one up.
Narrated by Robot Shlomo of Midnight's Edge. It's available on Audible and Amazon. Thank you.
For sure. MarjieSmiles from $9.99. I have canceled Netflix. I have not been able to go to the movies. This
money's.
Yeah, this money's well spent for both our pleasures. Enjoy, and Toxic Man Flu, bring your favorite brew.
Oh,
I'm tired. It's time to call it quits.
It's spreading. Why is it spreading? Don't.
Just run with it.
Here's the thing. You got to learn, man. If something happens that you don't like, the more you resist, the more it's going to become a thing.
It is so disgusting. People, I was in Nerdrotic show. I was watching you guys last week. Chris Praza said to me, "Are they done talking about coffee enemas in your channel yet?" I said, "Yeah, kind of." And then this, and then tonight. Thank you, Toxic and Culture and Script. You thought you were my friend.
Just remember, Steven, embrace the coffee enema.
No. No.
It's like very in furries. It's like you got at some point in time you got to own it. It's like the hey thing for me. It's just like
cookies.
It's like the hey thing was a joke. It stuck. It wasn't like anything I expected to stick, because my whole thing was, sup everyone. Hey, blew sup out of the water. So it's like everyone's they basically will, whenever I show up for Friday Night Tides, it's like hey, it's like that's cute. It doesn't bother me. It's just like, god damn it, all the things to stick. Why did it have to be that?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Oh well, I'll own it then, I guess. It's probably gonna be on a t-shirt, folks. To my chagrin. Good night, everyone.
I thought that said feces of insanity.
Feces of insanity. Yeah.
I'm very tired.
I'm sorry for tomorrow comics. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's all good, dude. It's all good.
Harry's the best.
Yeah. All right, everyone. I'm calling it quits. Good night.
Good night. Wash your ass.
Wash your face. Wash your hands.